What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore of FioriousNation here on YouTube. We got Adam Carl in the house. Nick and Adam are back for the FioriousNation episode 8 on Saturday night, January 17th of 2026. We are past half of the first month of the brand new year, on the road to the Royal Rumble, and on the Saturday night's main event. This is one of your co-hosts, Nick Fiore, creator of FioriousNation, by the way, and my other co-host, right beside me on my right, Mr. Adam Carl, back here on FioriousNation, Unforbidden Podcast for the first time in several months. Adam Carl, I got one question to ask you, bud. How are we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. It's definitely good to be back on this show. Obviously, I wasn't there last week for the return episode because I had other commitments, but now I'm free and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Free and ready to rock and roll indeed, my friend. I mean, obviously was here last week because of obvious reasons, but he is back here. My co-host is back. We got episode 8 of the Forbidden Podcast, man, on a snowy Saturday night here in New York where I am. We got a lot of snow, and shoveling today was, I know Adam Carl's in a different country and I'm in the U.S. in New York State, upstate New York, a lot of snow tonight, or today rather, but inside where it's warm, I mean, no pun intended, you got a fireplace, you got the piano and shit, nice comfy couch, but we're here to talk about some pro wrestling. We got a lot to talk about here, brother. We got Hobbs jumping ship apparently from AEW to WWE, didn't take long at all, and Drew McIntyre's the new WWE champion. What's next for him? The thoughts on AJ Styles and Gunther from Dusseldorf this past Monday on Raw, what we thought of the finish, and etc., etc., what happened on Raw, what we thought of Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite. We're going to include TNA and the debut on AMC. We got a lot to talk about that. SmackDown from last night from London, England, as part of their UK tour, road to the Rumble tour, because they'll be in Saudi at the end of the month. And they're in the UK now. They'll be in Montreal next week for Friday Night SmackDown and for Saturday night's main event the week before the Rumble. And then I believe they'll be in Toronto, Canada, I think, on the Monday before the Rumble. And then the Friday and the night before the Rumble, but they'll be in Saudi Arabia. Then they'll be in Saudi for the Rumble. So we got a lot of international shows, like no US-based WWE show until the beginning of February, which I think the February 2nd Raw will be in Philadelphia, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the Raw after the Rumble.
Yes, that is correct. But before we begin our very, very hot wrestling talk, and very good wrestling talk at that, first thing first, hit the like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It helps in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you subscribe to FioriousNation if you haven't done so, especially if you're new watching here. I'm at 241. I'd love to reach 250 by the end of January, at least. So go ahead and hit the like and subscribe to FioriousNation. And when you subscribe to FioriousNation, hit that bell for all notifications whenever this guy and this guy next to me go live every Saturday night here on YouTube via FioriousNation and via the Forbidden Podcast. So make sure you do all that. Follow me, social media on X, FiorioNick579, Adam Carl, Adam Carl 2005 on X. Instagram, follow me on Instagram, Nicholas Fiore 2014. Go follow Adam Carl Instagram. Same thing with TikTok. I'm on TikTok at FioriousNation. I'm not a big TikToker, but you may ask Nick Fiore, FioriousNation, are you going to use TikTok like shorts? We'll see, but maybe. As far as YouTube shorts, yes, but TikTok, we'll see. Also Facebook, Nicholas Fiore 31. You can add me as a friend on Facebook. I'm Carl's on Facebook too, so go follow us. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X or Twitter, all that good stuff. But we might as well start with the Monday Night Raw talk since it was the first show of the week. They were in Dusseldorf, Germany this past Monday afternoon, airing live in the early afternoon on Netflix. I thought the Raw Stranger Things in Brooklyn, which I was at live, that was not really a good show at all, outside of the beginning and the end. This past Monday on Raw, I thought was fine. It was much better than the Stranger Things Raw in Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I'm not sure what you thought, but I thought this was much better than the Raw in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was a much better show, I will say. It was the advanced storylines. It was more cohesive. There was a obviously focus on obviously on the storylines and in the build up to the Royal Rumble.
True. We did get Gunther and AJ Styles in the main event.
That was a good main event.
We have new number one contenders for the women's tag team titles and Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. They will take on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They're calling themselves Rio, apparently. Probably some social media name, but they're taking on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley for the women's tag team titles in Montreal, Quebec, Canada on Saturday's main event, January 24th. So that match will be taking place there. One of the 3 matches announced so far. We'll get to the others here on this video. But they apparently beat Lyra, Valkyria, and Bailey. And then who else did they beat?
The former champions, the Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki Warriors, yes. Sorry, I know the women's tag team titles don't mean shit, but I know. Thank you for correcting me, Adam Carl. But yeah, Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez beat Kabuki Warriors and Lyra and Bailey in a triple threat number one contender match on this past Monday's Raw to get Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the women's tag team titles at Saturday night's main event. So that was that. We had Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer in their story. Raquel got a good promo and then took out Stephanie Vaquer's leg with the boot. And she also broke the title, by the way, did Raquel. No pun intended. Yeah. Broke the part of when she hit Stephanie in the leg with the title belt. Broke piece of the title. And might I say, Raquel Rodriguez taking nice advice from Kevin Nash, calling herself Big Sexy Raquel Rodriguez. And I will say Raquel's come a long way, I have to admit.
Yeah, she's had a good run, obviously. I will give her that. I'll give her credit. She's improved in ring. She's been on a good run ever since joining the Judgment Day.
Yes, I have to agree with that very much.
The tag team matches with her and her and Liv, a combination of her and Liv and Roxanne, have been really good.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job in making her into a monster.
Yes,
indeed. I mean, big female monster.
Raquel and Stephanie Vaquer, though, have been feuding for quite a long time now. And then they involve Nikki Bella and stuff. The less I talk about that, the better. Now Nikki Bella's no more. Hopefully it stays that way. She was last seen on the last Raw of 2025, and she lost clean a triple threat to Raquel and Stephanie, where Stephanie Vaquer retained the women's world title. That was in Orlando, I think, but Nikki Bella ate the pinfall. That was when Raquel, I think, did a double Tahana bomb, and Stephanie stole a pin.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, she tried a double Tahana bomb, but Stephanie got out of the way.
Yeah, but Raquel and Stephanie are still feuding. And Stephanie Vaquer, man, I'm not sure if you've seen a photo of a black and blue foot. Doesn't look pretty good.
Doesn't. Just look bad.
I don't know if she's going to be able to recover quick in time, but I will say, I mean, if she's not able to recover quick in time by Mania, I would say take the title off her and have her get squashed by Raquel in the story. Then Stephanie comes back and then chases the title, wins it back at Mania. But I don't know about you. If they're doing Raquel and Stephanie soon for the women's world title, I don't know how you feel. I would actually give Raquel Rodriguez the women's world title. Have her hold, even if it's for a little bit. Have her hold it for a little bit, and Stephanie could always win it back. And I don't know what you do with Liv and Roxanne at Mania. Maybe you add them. I heard Liv Morgan probably is a big centerpiece for this year's WrestleMania season. She could very well probably win the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber. Maybe we get Liv versus Raquel for the women's world title at Mania, or Liv and Stephanie, Liv Roxanne, or Roxanne Raquel, or Liv Raquel Roxanne, or maybe Stephanie Raquel Liv Roxanne at WrestleMania. I don't know how you feel.
There's a lot of moving parts you could do. There's a lot of matches you could do for WrestleMania, and it wouldn't be a bad decision whatsoever.
Yeah, because the reason I bring all four of them up, because you don't want to leave. I don't think you're going to want to leave Stephanie Vaquer off the card.
It depends, though, if Stephanie is, her ankle injury isn't severe enough where she has to miss WrestleMania.
True. So if she misses Mania, she drops the title.
Io and Rhea, they can always be in the mix. But I could see them. I could see more of them though. I could see them though doing a tag team title match involving them at WrestleMania.
If I had the power of the pen, I would actually do Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania for the Women's World Title because that is the big Mania money match for the Raw Women's division.
Yeah, it depends though if Stephanie is healthy.
That's true. Or with Io and Rhea, I don't know if they really go into WrestleMania as Women's Tag Team Champions. They just won them, but I don't see them holding them that long, honestly. I would honestly, if we don't do Stephanie and Rhea, do Rhea and Io. And there's that little stat where Rhea has never beaten Io, which is true. Rhea Ripley has never ever
not in NXT, not on the main roster. Never, not once.
So you could do that and have a story. Maybe one of them turns on each other.
Yeah. Doesn't need the title though? Is the question? No. Doesn't need the championship.
No, like their story that Rhea's never beaten Io. It would be if it was the title involved, it would feel overshadowed. And I think you could absolutely do it without a championship. That's not necessary to have a championship involved. But I don't see Rhea and Io going into Mania as champions. I don't. I would say do Rhea and Io at Mania, and they lose the titles before Mania, and one of them turns on each other, and you set up that match. If we don't do Rhea and Stephanie, then Rhea and Io is one of the matches for the women on WrestleMania. Then Stephanie, I would say if she's good to go by Mania, maybe you do a Fatal 4-Way, maybe you do Stephanie versus Roxanne or Stephanie and Liv or something, or maybe a combination of a triple threat or Fatal 4-Way. I don't know about like doing a triple threat Fatal 4-Way just to get everyone on the card. But I mean, if Stephanie's good to go, you're not going to leave her off the card. And Raquel has been in the story with Liv and Roxanne with tensions in the Judgment Day. So there are possibilities of where you could go with this, with the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania.
It's unpredictable.
It is.
It's very unpredictable. You don't know which match it will be. You don't know which direction they'll go. You know, you may think one thing, but then they do another.
Yes. But we have that with the Women's World Championship and then the Women's Tag Team title situation. Liv and Roxanne versus Rhea and Io at Saturday Night's Main Event. Would you give Liv and Roxanne the Women's Tag Team titles on January 24th? Probably say no because Rhea and Io just won them.
No.
They just won
I would have Io and Rhea retain. Maybe lose them in maybe March. And then you do the singles match between them in Mania without any championship. But if it were up to me, honestly, I would the team that I would have dethroning Io and Rhea would be Bayley and Lyra.
Yes.
This would be the team that I would have dethroning Rio.
Yes, I see what you did there.
Not the one from AEW.
Rio from AEW. First ever AEW.
I think there's another female called Rio, but it's RHIO
or YO.
Yeah,
something like that. But
it's
no confusion there.
Combining the names of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have them lose to Bayley and Lyra and have Bayley and Lyra go into WrestleMania as the champions, and they
do have this Friday. They do have Friday Night SmackDown next week in Montreal. The Charlotte and Alexa versus Julia and Kiana James and Nia Jax / Legend triple threat number 1 contenders for the women's tag team titles. They do have that as well, but
did they just do a number 1 contenders match on Monday?
Well, Nia and Lash beat the previous champions Kabuki Warriors, so they should be owed a tag. Automatic.
They should get a title match. Why do they need to be in another number?
Champions of the Kabuki Warriors go at the end of 2025. Yeah, so if I'm Lash and Nia, I would kind of be pissed.
Yeah, I'd be demanding a title match right now.
Yeah, Charlotte and Alexa, I can't see winning that match on Friday Night SmackDown next week in Montreal, and I could probably see them split up before WrestleMania. And I think Charlotte and Alexa is one of the matches for Mania as well.
Yeah, if I'm going with this match, if I were to predict, I'm predicting Nia and Lash Legend to win.
Yeah, or you could do Kiana James and Julia, but probably not likely.
No, I would have Nia and Lash win, and they get the title match sometime in February.
Yeah. So we have that situation as well. We have CM Punk and Finn Balor. They had a confrontation, and apparently CM Punk and Finn Balor for the world title is set for Raw this Monday afternoon in Belfast, in Finn Balor's home country in Ireland. I know it may sound in the moment cheesy because it's Balor's home country. It's a big match. Honest, it's a big money match, big dream match for CM Punk versus Finn Balor. And if you watch backstage where Finn Balor's playing WWE 2K25 and Liv Morgan really took it to Finn Balor verbally and like really just like was snapping at Finn Balor and just really like she just verbally to Finn Balor, like, Finn Balor, what's going on? Like, why are you not like you say you're the leader of the Judgment Day, what's going on? And like, you're not doing much of anything, pretty much putting him down. And same thing with Roxanne putting Balor down. So, I mean, with JD McDonough out, Dominic Mysterio, the Intercontinental Champion, he's also injured with a shoulder injury. We don't know how long he's out or if he has to vacate the Intercontinental title. We don't know. That remains to be seen. But with those two guys out for the time being with the injury, I don't know what you see. I think Finn Balor, I mean, and remember when Finn Balor was the one that brought Roxanne the Judgment Day, and then Finn Balor said, I can handle the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan says, I beg to differ. And Liv Morgan's been back, and she's pretty much doubting Finn Balor as a leader and stuff like that. With Balor and Punk next week, I expect Balor to lose. Should be good, but I don't expect Punk to lose at all. I expect Balor to lose. That happens. Do you see potentially sooner, like probably going into Mania season, Finn Balor officially kicked out of the Judgment Day? Because Balor has been losing and losing lately for months and has been able to get the job done for the Judgment Day. Liv, Roxanne, and Raquel have. And then Dominic before he got hurt and McDonough before he got hurt. But Balor seems like the odd man out, like a weak link, always loses in the Judgment Day, even though he's the leader. Could we potentially see Finn Balor sooner or later kicked out of the Judgment Day?
I think he'll be kicked out soon. I don't expect it to be in Ireland. Maybe sometime around February, in March, and you build to WrestleMania. I think Dominic, though, the last time I heard, his injury isn't all too bad. I think he should be cleared by the Rumble. So maybe he could build somewhere to maybe where Dom maybe eliminates Finn in the Royal Rumble match. Yeah, and this is where you now finally start the process of kicking Finn Balor out of the Judgment Day.
Or if it's the other way around, Finn Balor eliminates Dominic in the Rumble.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You get Finn Balor versus Dominic for the IC title.
Probably. And you have probably turned Finn Balor babyface.
Yeah, because Dominic, he's been champion both times since WrestleMania. He's had that title. He's held that title since Mania, in both reigns. Obviously, he lost the first time to Cena.
Yeah,
for Cena to complete the Grand Slam, and then he won it back at Survivor Series. But for the most part, he has had a stranglehold on the Intercontinental Championship since last year's WrestleMania 41.
Yeah.
So I think it would be time for a fresh champion.
Yeah. And you see in the Judgment Day, every member but Finn Balor is winning. And Balor's a leader, and he can't really get the job done. The others can. They're going to think, oh, Finn Balor says he can handle the Judgment Day. I don't know. He's losing a lot. I think we're doubting him as a leader. Who's to say they don't kick him out? Who's to say Finn Balor's not kicked out of the Judgment Day? And it's been years since Finn Balor's been a babyface. And if the plan is to turn him face, maybe he takes the Intercontinental Championship off of Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. Who the hell knows? And if you're going to turn him face, please bring back the CFO theme song for Finn Balor, Catch Your Breath by CFO. Yeah. I know that though the Demon King is dead, I'll be honest, it's dead. It was killed at Extreme Rules 2021 with that awful, superpower shit. Less I talk about that, the better. That was so bad.
What an awful finish.
He's awoken, and then
mind you,
broke. It was so bad.
The turnbuckle exploded. Mind you, the turnbuckle exploded because it couldn't carry a 190-pound Finn Balor.
So fucking stupid, man. That was Vince and Bruce back then.
Yeah, this is how they had the Demon lose by having his crotch chopped on the turnbuckle.
And it's been dead, and the Demon King character.
Yeah. The Demon was never the same after that. That character was buried forever after that.
But if you're going to turn Finn Balor face, for the love of God, bring back a CFO theme song. Get rid of this Def Rebel garbage he's got, which is fucking awful. It's awful, man. I'm sure you've listened to it. It's not good at all. Just bring back a CFO theme music and call it a day, and give him the IC title at WrestleMania. I think it's about time.
I have listened to the theme music. It's not terrible by any means, but
it could be a lot better.
Yeah, but his older theme is much better. Catch your breath. It just fits him more.
Yeah. We also got Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri set for Raw this Monday in Belfast as well. Rematch for the IC title with Maxxine Dupri's rematch. I don't understand why we're getting this match again. Their match in Brooklyn, I was at the Raw Brooklyn and Stranger Things Raw in Brooklyn a few weeks ago. Their match there was not good. I don't know what happened, but I mean, A, they could have been given a little more time, A, and B, I don't know what happened if both ladies were off, but their match in Brooklyn was not good. Their match in Madison Square Garden last November was a lot better than the one in Brooklyn. I would say they really need to move on from this Becky and Maxxine stuff.
How many matches? Now, 5?
Yeah, at least. Maxxine, I would say Maxxine Dupri was a nice little run for the IC title. Now it's back on Becky Lynch where it really belongs. No disrespect to Maxxine Dupri, and she's gotten better, but I would have to say they got to move on after this Monday.
I mean, I'll give her credit. She has improved in the ring. She has gotten better.
Yeah.
And sure, definitely working with Becky has helped a lot.
Yeah, or Natty Neidhart in the Hart family dungeon, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all her was for her IC title reign. It was just to give her a nice moment. She was never meant to be a long-term champion. No. I think it's clear that the destination for WrestleMania for Becky is to have her defend the IC championship against AJ Lee.
Yeah.
You get that eventual singles match between them.
And that would be the first women's IC title match for WrestleMania. That's two big names. And I don't think AJ Lee would win the title because if you watch WrestlePalooza, AJ Lee tapped out Becky Lynch, and then she beat Becky again in the Women's War Games last November. Becky's technically never beaten AJ.
She's tapped out twice to the Black Widow.
Yes. Twice. And you have and third time's a charm, Becky finally beats AJ at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then and after that, obviously had Becky basically going on a meltdown on social media.
That was actually very entertaining, saying that was the crooked referee. I'm going to Adam Pearce, and she was going to a Twitter rant or X rant. It was actually very entertaining. I have to say, Becky Lynch, I don't know how you feel, but what I feel about heel Becky Lynch, ever since she turned heel on the Raw to WrestleMania last year in April 2025, ever since then, when she turned heel a year ago, I'm telling you, bro, she's been fucking killing it as a heel. She was not a good heel in late 2021, and that was because under Vince. It was so bad. I don't
26 seconds.
What?
26 seconds. Remember that. This is how long he gave her and Bianca at SummerSlam.
In 2021 in Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas. But that back then, Becky Lynch was not a good heel under Vince. Under Triple H, I have to give him credit. He didn't have a good year creatively in 2025, but if there's one thing that he has done right so far with Becky Lynch is that he's booked her much better as a heel than Vince booked her as a heel, if I'm being brutally honest. And she's been killing it in this heel role the past year.
Yeah, this has been her best heel run in terms of heel runs compared to her last few heel runs, and this has been her best one in terms of character work and I mean the in-ring is debatable between her big time Beck's run and this one, but in terms of character work and promo, I think this has been some of her best work. It's been entertaining.
And then her new theme song by the Wonder Years, apparently, where it says "The Man has come around." That intro since that new song of Becky Lynch in SummerSlam last year in the match with Lyra Valkyria. She's helped Lyra Valkyria. She's helped Maxxine Dupri. She's been doing the stuff with AJ Lee. She got involved with the Vision stuff with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and got heat with the CM Punk as well. Say what you want about Becky Lynch, and is she probably one of the selfish wrestlers? Probably, I would say yes. However, for the most part, I mean, selfish, yeah, but mostly overweighing that she actually is not really all about herself. She actually cares about the company and the locker room, and want to see the other people in the locker room get to where they need to be. Like, she's not that one that's all about herself, and she advocates for others to get the spotlight they deserve. Like, I remember when she was NXT Women's Champion a couple years ago, when she beat Tiffany Stratton, she advocated for Tegan Nox to get TV time on Raw in late 2023, and then she was working with Xia Li and others as well.
She worked with Indy Hartwell.
Yes, Indy Hartwell as well. Dropped the title. Lyra Valkyria had a banger match with Tiffany Stratton at NXT No Mercy 2023. That match that really made Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
You know, Becky Lynch is not one of those women that's all about herself, like it's Mercedes in AEW. Mercedes Monday / Sasha Banks in AEW, but it's not. But I mostly have to blame Tony Khan for that, because he doesn't tell anybody no. Where if Sasha Banks was back in WWE under Triple H, it would be the complete opposite of her. Because Triple H is a real leader and Tony Khan's more of a friend than he is a boss. But that's a story for another day. But Becky Lynch is one of those women that's
winning
really
the
not all about
20,000 championships outside of AEW too.
Oh, geez, don't even get me started on that. But Becky Lynch is not
the belt collector.
Yeah. But Becky Lynch is not that one that's all about herself and genuinely cares about the business and the industry. And you can tell when someone's selfish and not selfish. Becky Lynch is not one of the selfish people.
Yeah. You know, she wants to upset the division.
Like Bailey,
she wants
too.
everyone to go to that next level.
Yes. Bailey is the same way as well. She wants to genuinely help the company.
Yeah.
You know, by like
I think Bailey was on Stephanie's podcast recently. Go check that out.
Yeah. In terms like giving back and want to help the company grow and help others get to where they need to be. And I have to respect that.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that. But we have Becky and Maxxine this Monday in Belfast. Hopefully that's the end of that and Becky retains and moves on from that. We did also get Bron Breakker and the Vision and Adam Pearce thing. We got the Luchas, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Penta versus the Vision. Or it was what, two of them or three? It was like a tag me or 6-man tag. But Bron Breakker, the drone shot, speared Dragon Lee out of his boots. And then he had Adam Pearce saying to Paul Heyman, "Don't let Bron Breakker in here or we're going to have a problem." And Bron Breakker came in, and Adam Pearce was getting in Bron Breakker's face. And Bron Breakker grabbed him right in the corner, and Bron Breakker put his hands on his boss, Adam Pearce. And Paul Heyman told Bron Breakker to stop. Logan Paul told him to stop. Then the Vision went to the back. Adam Pearce followed them into the back. And Adam Pearce yelled to Bron Breakker, "Bron Breakker, you are suspended indefinitely," after Bron Breakker lost his world title match in Brooklyn to CM Punk and stuff. And you had the interference of the Luchas taking out the Vision to have Punk and Breakker fair fight. And then Breakker lost to Punk in Brooklyn. And I was thinking they had to do something coming out of that to make Bron Breakker look strong. I don't think he was buried by Punk in Brooklyn by any means. But, I mean, it's like for Bron Breakker, everyone that thought, oh, Bron Breakker's buried, oh, Bron Breakker's done for. Watch this segment this past Monday on Raw. I think, I hope you think different now, because Bron Breakker, he was pissed, taking his frustration out on Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, and Penta and company after losing his world title match to CM Punk in Brooklyn the week before, and now he puts his hands on Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager, which I have to say he's a good GM, and he's very good at what he does, but now he suspends Bron Breakker indefinitely. But I expect Bron Breakker to come to work uninvited and wreak havoc now on Raw. I mean, this is what they needed to do to rebound to Bron Breakker after losing to Punk in Brooklyn. They did just that, and I commend WWE for that, and Triple H for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done a good job at, and maintaining his momentum, keeping him over. Now,
Yes.
This was a good follow-up after, especially when you lose at such a big match, such a world championship match in the main event of one of the biggest nights of WWE's year, the first Raw of the year. You have to follow up something big to keep him strong.
Absolutely. And they did just that. And it came for a very good segment. And Bron Breakker was all pissed off. He put his hands on Adam Pearce, and then Adam Pearce suspended. And Paul Heyman said to Adam Pearce in the back after he suspended Bron Breakker, you just made a very big mistake. And then Adam Pearce is like, yes, I know. And Paul Heyman's like, well, I'm not talking about Braun Breaker making a mistake. I'm talking about you making a mistake, Adam Pearce. So Braun Breaker is indefinitely suspended.
Sure.
Oh, but Braun Breaker's not going to come out next week or so or wreak havoc or something like that, demand another title match or whatnot. When Braun Breaker, and we get Punk and Bálor this Monday on Raw, who's to say we don't get Braun Breaker causing a no contest?
Yeah, he spears both Finn Bálor and CM Punk out of their boots.
Could probably see that, actually. I'm picturing it now. I could probably see that this Monday. I don't know if that happens, but I could probably see it if it's a possibility. But we'll see. But do we see Braun Breaker in the Royal Rumble?
I think
does he win the Rumble?
I mean, I think he has to be the favorite now. For now, at least, he has to be the favorite to win. Now that he isn't the champion yet.
Do we get Seth Rollins back in time before WrestleMania? I heard rumors that he's back in the PC training now.
It depends if he's 100%. It depends if he can make it in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah. I will say if he makes it in time by WrestleMania, do Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania, because Seth was kicked out of his own faction. It would make all the sense in the world. Or if we do, I know there's rumors of Punk and Breaker for the world title again at Mania. If that is the case, add Seth in there, make it a triple threat, or do Seth and Breaker one-on-one with no title, because it would make more sense probably that way. And Seth was kicked out of his own group. Now, what does this mean for CM Punk and the world title for WrestleMania? Well, Cody Rhodes announced himself the first. He said, I am officially entering the Royal Rumble match, the first one to announce himself for the Rumble. So I don't know if Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble or the Chamber. I would say, I don't know how you feel. Does Cody Rhodes win the Rumble a third time? Or do we get Cody win the Chamber? Do we get Cody versus Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania? And for Drew McIntyre, I don't know how you feel, Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns for the WWE title at WrestleMania, because what do you do with Roman now? And Drew McIntyre was the Bloodline hunter last year or whatnot. Hate hunting the Bloodline. Because we don't need Cody and Roman unless Cody goes heel. But I don't know how you feel. Drew, there's Jacob fought too. But do you really want to do him with the WWE Championship at WrestleMania this quick? Or it's like you're running a risk of really forcing him. I would do Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Then CM Punk, Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. I don't know how you feel. And then we get Seth and Breaker, no title involved. And then that leaves Randy Orton and Jacob Fatu off the card. Fatu and everyone thinks that McIntyre took him out. Cody took him out. Did Cody take him out? Maybe. Or maybe it's Randy Orton. And we got a heel Randy Orton and a babyface Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania.
I mean, the way you laid it out is actually, it's very logical. I can't see that being the direction. It just, with Drew McIntyre, he wasn't even supposed to even get this run with the title. And the reason he was champion, now he's champion, is because, Cody has been wanting to drop the title to McIntyre for months. He wanted to drop it to him since WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, he should have won it then. I don't know what they were waiting for, but Cody one that advocated to drop the title, and they pulled the trigger with the Berlin SmackDown last week to finally pull the trigger and 3 Stages of Hell, which was the right move for Drew McIntyre to win, by the way. So
he needed it.
He won.
But the question is, though, do they have Drew go into Mania as champion?
That's a very good question. It depends on.
Because did they give him the title and have him go into Mania as champion, or did they give him the belt because this is simply what their top guy and Cody wanted, and then they'll get to take the belt off of Drew so quickly?
And all depends on if the WWE Championship is defended inside the Elimination Chamber and Drew drops it there. We don't know.
Yeah. But if I were booking this, though, I would have it. If I were to pick a Rumble win, I would go with Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Braun winning the Rumble. And if Seth is cleared, by that point, you do Braun, Seth, and Punk. And you have that story, come full circle. And this is how you conclude, the Vision storyline.
True.
For Braun and Seth.
You could do that, or does Roman Reigns win the Rumble? He hasn't been seen since War Games, and he wins the Rumble may not be an issue because you could do Roman and Punk or Roman and McIntyre. I would prefer Roman and McIntyre, and you have that story where Drew McIntyre was the bloodline hunter, and Drew and Roman have good chemistry, and Drew would probably go over Roman, and I probably would not mind Drew and Roman, because do you want to do Drew and Fatu? Is that really WrestleMania worthy right now? And is it too soon for Jacob Fatu to be WWE champion? He's going to be there in the future soon, but right now I'm not really sure. And I don't know if you want to run the risk.
I won't say it too soon, but is it the right timing?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you're doing this whole mystery attacker angle. Who took him out?
True.
I don't see him being Drew McIntyre. I mean, for as much as he's a heel on screen, why would he's somebody who doesn't lie? He's always speaking, the truth. So why would he lie about, why would he say I didn't attack him and then it turns out that he was the one anyway? Like that would be such out of character for him.
I would probably say Cody was the one that attacked Jacob Fatu, and we get a heel Cody Rhodes. It would freshen things up, just like Drew McIntyre's WWE champion definitely freshens things up, especially on SmackDown, and gives more unpredictability and where anything could go, and it actually is exciting. So, which is why Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship. That's why it's the
Cody, maybe, but I don't see it being him either.
What about Randy Orton?
He's still their top babyface, and he's still over. Although he was noticeably booed at his match with McIntyre,
and he was booed last night on SmackDown too, in London mostly.
Yeah,
he turned around for cheers, but still.
Yeah, it's like he gets booed 1 minute and then the next minute he's cheered. But no, I don't see them turning him just yet.
Probably not. It would be nice for a heel Cody Rhodes, and that's where the money is. And a heel Cody Rhodes, listen, I would be all for that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The other choice though, I think the attacker will most likely be revealed to be Randy Orton.
And it's been quite some time since we got a heel Randy Orton too.
Yeah, I think this is the direction we're heading into, maybe because Jacob, he attacked Drew, he and Cody, they fought in the cage, and this allowed Drew to escape.
And Orton's been eyeing the WWE Championship when Cody Rhodes was champion before he dropped it to McIntyre too. That's another thing to think about too.
Yeah, so with the storyline, Jacob would
no mention of Orton.
You got to think about Orton, because he's in that mix for the title picture. But you're doing the story with Jacob. He thinks that either Drew or Cody attacked him. He attacked Drew in the cage, thinking he attacked him, and then he and Cody have been battling for weeks now. So he probably thinks they're the attacker. But there's one person that he hasn't laid his hands on yet, is Randy Orton.
Yes. So I could probably see Bron Breakker though win the Royal Rumble. If not Breakker, then Reigns. And if Reigns wins it, what if Cody wins the Chamber and we get Reigns, McIntyre, Cody, Punk? Because Cody and Punk is a big Mania match, and I think they should do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you can wait on that for a WrestleMania match. That's WrestleMania Night 2 worthy, Cody versus Punk.
It absolutely is. And then maybe you do Orton and Jacob at WrestleMania. You have Orton be revealed as the guy who attacked Jacob Fatu. Maybe he hits him with an RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then he reveals that he was Jacob's attacker.
You could do that. Now, let me ask you this. If we get Roman and Rock at WrestleMania 43 next year in 2027 in Saudi, you got to make sense of that. What if it's Drew and Roman at Mania for the WWE Championship this year at WrestleMania 42? Because I'm just thinking this. If you want that match to make sense for next year's Mania for Rock and Roman, I don't know how you feel. Maybe, and this is what I'm thinking. They have the soul thing where maybe Drew McIntyre sells his soul to The Rock, and McIntyre's been the bloodline hunter. And because remember when he signed his new contract 2 years ago, Rock handed the sword to Drew McIntyre. When McIntyre signed his new WWE contract in 2024, 2 years ago. And Drew and Roman have the history, and Drew's been the bloodline hunter and stuff, though we got Damian Priest at last year's WrestleMania. What if we get Drew and Roman and somewhere along the line? Now, I don't know if I'd want Rock on TV because of the shit he pulled last year with Travis Scott, but what if we get Drew and Roman this year's Mania to set up Rock and Roman for next year's Mania? Somewhere along the line, we get Rock somehow involved and he screws Roman to help Drew, where Drew is Rock's champion and Rock has Drew McIntyre's soul.
You can do that. And Drew, I think he would fit the description of being the corporate champion.
Now, I mean, it would probably be better if Cody Rhodes did that, but I don't. I would say Cody maybe you could be a heel without involving of The Rock.
I mean, that is if The Rock ever shows up at this point, which I mean, I have no desire to see.
Do we need Cody being heel because of Rock, though?
I guess you can do that, maybe, but no, I still won't turn Cody heel even then.
Yeah, I'm also thinking. I thought of this today. You really want Drew McIntyre to be a big deal on like SmackDown and stuff. I know Jonathan Coachman of Coach and Bro podcast mentioned that Drew McIntyre could be a top heel in the company. He probably could. You know, if they play the cards right, they probably could. But I was thinking this today. If Drew McIntyre wants to be like even more than he is, I was thinking this today. I don't know if they ever do a draft after this year's Mania or a transfer window or whatnot. Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, the Americanos, gracias. I would say after the Americanos shit, I'm not. That's like that's a shelf life, the Americano gimmick that the three of them have: Kaiser, Dunne, and Bate. I would say, like sooner or later, end that gimmick for them. Have them as Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate again. Move them to SmackDown and put them in a faction with Drew McIntyre, led by McIntyre, a new Imperium on SmackDown, led by McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate. And they run roughshod on SmackDown. And you probably have Rock screw Roman, and Rock held Drew the sword 2 years ago anyway, so there's a history there. I don't know if you do that. And you have Drew have his own faction on SmackDown. Maybe you add Alba Fire in there, get her away from Chelsea Green and end the secret Irvis once and for all. Get Chelsea Green with Ethan Page or Matt Cardona or whatnot. I don't know how you feel, but that's what I was thinking today.
I mean, you could have some sort of United Kingdom faction.
True.
But wait, though. I don't think Germany is a part of the UK, right? I don't think it's part of it.
It's kind of linked with it, but...
It's Europe. I may as well call it some European faction name.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But if they play the cards right, I don't know, just a thought. Maybe it could work.
Yeah, you could do that. Have they ever done a United a European stable in WWE?
They've done Imperium.
Yeah, they had Imperium, but on the main roster at least. Yeah, Imperium, but that's about it.
Because Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Ludwig Kaiser are very good wrestlers. Kaiser's been killing in the Americano role, but that Americano role for the three of them is a very short shelf. It has an expiration date.
Yeah, Chad Gable should be on his way back soon.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, he's the one who started. I mean, the only reason Ludwig Kaiser even got this Americano gimmick, the El Grande gimmick, is because the originator, El Grande 1.0, being Gable, got hurt. They didn't want to take the character off the television show, so they just plugged in Ludwig Kaiser there, and he just happened to get the character over.
And Chad Gable, I've seen him lately. Instagram pictures of him in the gym. He looks jacked.
Yeah,
he looks fucking jacked.
He looks great. Yeah, so he should be back in the Rumble.
Hopefully,
he should be back. And maybe you get maybe El Grande versus El Grande 1.0 being Gable versus El Grande 2.0 being Kaiser.
Yeah, you get, and I would probably do Ludwig Kaiser / El Grande Americano versus Chad Gable at WrestleMania, and maybe a hair.
And if Ludwig loses, he has to unmask.
Yes.
Yeah, you pretty much reveal Ludwig as El Grande under the mask, and this is how you end the El Grande Americano character.
Yeah, and not just for Kaiser, but for Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate as well.
Yeah,
that's what I would do, honestly. But I think that would be the way to go. I think it'd probably be a nice idea. I don't know if it ever happens, but it's just a thought, just me brainstorming, theorizing, and same thing with this guy here, Adam Carl. So let us know what you guys think of that in the comments and stuff like that below. So what do you think of Drew McIntyre leading a faction on SmackDown with Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate? So That'd probably be something. But we go on from that. We talk then the Gunther AJ Styles match from Monday on Raw. I don't think this is one and done, especially the way Gunther won.
Yeah, I don't think it's one and done. The way, obviously, if you've seen the finish, obviously the match was good. It's AJ and Gunther. It would be impossible for them to have a terrible match against each other. But the finish, obviously, you've seen it. Gunther, he did.
Yeah.
The Lesnar finish.
Yes.
Where
there was
the finish, obviously, where he tapped out. He was in the Undertaker spot. He tapped out, but the referee didn't see it.
Yeah, AJ Styles had the calf crusher, and then Gunther tapped, but referee was on the other side.
Yeah. The ref didn't see it. AJ let go of the hold because he made Gunther tap, but the referee, he told him why did you break the hold? And then AJ tells the referee he made Gunther tap, and the ref he tells him obviously he didn't see it.
And then the referee went to the referee
AJ with a little blow, and then he wins after that.
Yeah, referee went to the timekeeper, I think to Alicia Taylor, who was the ring announcer, told the timekeeper, match is not over, match continues. And Gunther with a low blow and a power bomb, and that was it.
Yeah, so this is not a rematch. So we're getting a rematch. I don't know if it happens at WrestleMania. I think they do the match quickly. I think.
I don't know, because if Obafemi is getting called up to Raw soon, to the main roster before Mania, and apparently there's big Mania plans for him. Speaking of which, the Obafemi shorts, haven't yet already, go check it out. Obafemi, if he's on WrestleMania this year, I think we get Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Now that leaves Gunther and AJ Styles. I think Gunther and Lesnar is the match for SummerSlam this August in Minneapolis, Lesnar's hometown, and that's Lesnar's last match against Gunther. I would probably do Gunther and AJ Styles at Mania. That's AJ's last match. And then do Obafemi and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I think I think the reason I say they do the match quickly, the rematch, is because they're still 3 months away from Mania, and you already have this feud.
Yeah.
So AJ should want a rematch straight away, and it depends though. I think AJ, he was on the Undertaker's podcast, the 6 Feet Under podcast. He said that he has 12 months left on his WWE deal, at least as a talent deal. I think he signs a Legends deal after that, and he works backstage. Yeah. But says he has 12 months. I don't know. I don't think he retires at WrestleMania. I think he does the whole year. So WrestleMania, is it gonna be really his last match? Because if it is his last match, it has to be against Gunther. I think they do the match somewhere in February. I think maybe somewhere in February, maybe after the Rumble. AJ and Gunther.
Maybe.
And then you book. If you want Obafemi at WrestleMania, I would do Oba against AJ. And then you set up, and then you have you set up Gunther and Lesnar and you do Gunther and Lesnar at WrestleMania, and you set that up at the Royal Rumble in the Rumble match.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I mean, Gunther and Lesnar is very WrestleMania worthy. It could be on WrestleMania, it could be on SummerSlam. It all depends on what they want to do, man. What creative wants to go with. So we'll see. But Gunther and AJ Styles had a very good match Monday on Raw. I'm not mad with the finish at all. I think it makes Gunther look really smart. And I thought the finish was very clever and brilliant by WWE. I'm not mad at what they did at all. And Gunther wins as he should. And both guys were protected. Both guys look good. AJ's going to want a rematch for sure. What if we get Gunther and AJ at the Chamber? Gunther just destroys AJ, where AJ can't continue and the match has to stop. Ref has to stop the match. And then AJ comes out where it's like, Gunther, this is not over till I say it's over. And looks like you really want me out. So Gunther, you want me out? Fine. You and me at WrestleMania, and AJ Styles, myself, I put my career on the line. And if Gunther, if you beat me, my career's over.
You could do that if AJ does retire at Mania. If he doesn't retire at Mania, that's if that's a direction for WrestleMania for both guys. If AJ does retire, that if WrestleMania is going to be his last match, and then you can maybe prolong Gunther and AJ. But if it's not his last match, you just do the match maybe on Raw again. Or maybe you do it at the Rumble in Saudi. You never know.
I don't know.
And both guys could still be in the Rumble match.
I could probably see both guys in the Rumble, honestly.
Yeah.
With Cody in the Rumble, Roman's going to be in there. Chris Jericho's going to be back. LA Knight. You got Gunther, AJ Styles, Jacob Fatu, Oba Femi, Braun Breaker. It's looking like a big star-studded Royal Rumble match in Saudi, man.
Yeah.
And the Rumble should be big, star-studded, and prestigious. So that's just a thought. Speaking of the Rumble, they revealed the theme song, Heavy on the Crown by Linkin Park. Now, this guy knows of Linkin Park. So, and they're actually not a bad band. They're my favorite band, fun fact. Yes.
Fun fact, but they're my favorite band. I always listen to them.
Yeah, In the End by Linkin Park is notorious.
Yeah. I always miss Chester. He was great.
I think one of the singers passed away or committed suicide, I think.
I think it'll be 9 years. This is July. It'll be 9 years since his death.
Yeah. 8.5 years, man. God rest his soul. But Linkin Park.
This March would have been his 50th birthday.
It's a shame. Really is a shame he's no longer with us, but they have Heavy on the Crown by what?
I'm almost in tears.
Yeah. But Heavy on the Crown by Linkin Park is the official theme
he'll
song
be very proud of the band, what they've accomplished.
Absolutely.
He'll be proud of their run that they've had since they.
But the 2026 Royal Rumble theme song is Heavy on the Crown by Linkin Park.
It's nice seeing the theme music of theirs. It's nice seeing a song of theirs being the official song for a WWE show.
Yeah. I miss the days where the WWE pay-per-view or PLE theme songs were like heavy metal, hard rock, or metal. Like there's like Limp Bizkit, there's Skillet, there's what other ones besides Linkin Park and shit. I have a lot of them on my Seven Dust, Avenged Sevenfold, Disturbed, or 3 Days Grace. Those kind of things.
Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, Breaking Benjamin's another good one. There's so many good ones, man. Alter Bridge is another good band. Architects is a very good heavy metal song. Bullet for My Valentine is another one.
Saliva.
Yep, Saliva. Can't forget about Saliva. I'm sure I'm missing
song Always, the official song for Survivor Series, that first chamber.
Oh yes, Always by Saliva. That is one of the iconic theme songs in the early Ruthless Aggression era, man. You always remember that song. Remedy by Seether, SummerSlam 05 theme song. Seether's another good band.
Yeah.
As well. Rev Theory as well. Shine Down is a very good band as well. I've listened to Shine Down. I miss those days of pay-per-view PLE theme songs, and now most days you just get rap. Which, I mean, I'm not a big rap guy, but
it's not bad. I think you need variety.
Right. I mean, Machine Gun Kelly is one of the good ones. Post Malone is not bad either. I know I'm missing probably other heavy metal bands. Evanescence, Bring Me to Life.
Yeah.
The No Way Out 03 theme song.
The No Way Out theme for 03.
Yeah. Evanescence, the Bring Me to Life song. That's iconic. Drowning Pool. Can't forget about Drowning Pool. Bodies by Drowning Pool. Really, really good stuff. Godsmack. Godsmack is another one.
Well, I think there was another theme song I remember from Remedy. Cold.
Yeah. Backlash 03. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The theme. Yeah. Backlash 03, where you had the Big Show speaking Rey Mysterio. He's on the stretcher. He's swinging like a baseball.
Yes. Yeah. Rock and Goldberg at
the steel post.
Yes.
And obviously you had the first Lesnar Cena match for the championship.
Yep, and the debut in WWE of Goldberg versus the Hollywood Rock at the time.
Yeah.
As well. Kid Rock's another one. Kid Rock, iconic Kid Rock is one. Mentioned Linkin Park. Metallica. Metallica's a good one. Nickelback. Yes, something like that. But yes, bands like them, man, I miss those. I think Trust Company as well, the Royal Rumble 03 theme song, Falling Apart by Trust Company.
Yeah.
Another good one. I miss those days, man. Why can't we get those back again instead of a lot of rap? It would make
at least they have a healthy
balance.
Better. I mean, no disrespect to any rapper out there.
Right.
But you need a healthy balance.
Exactly. But that's the official theme song for the Royal Rumble 2026. Heavy on the Crown by Linkin Park. I've listened to it. It's actually not bad at all. Speaking of the Royal Rumble this year, there was a rumor killer apparently that I don't know who. I've seen someone on X saying that the Royal Rumble 2026 stage in Saudi is not even close to being done. They may have to reschedule the Rumble. And it was said, and I knew it was fake. Apparently, they are close to getting it done, and it's gonna go on a schedule. They're not moving the day. It's not like they're behind on schedule making the stage. Like probably some troll account made this up to get attention. Probably an AEW sicko or something. I knew it was fake the whole time reading it, and it's like it read to me as fake. So
they're not gonna have a Royal Rumble show. WWE will never have a Rumble show or any of their shows in general be in a stadium where the stadium isn't even made, and they have to wrestle on dirt.
Exactly.
My God. I think the stadium will be done in time for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll set up the ring and the stage and all that. I think they'll get it done by the time we reach this happy.
Yeah. So whoever put that out there, it was a fake news kind of a thing, just most likely for clout or attention, most likely an AEW sicko, something like that. I won't mention names. I seen the tweet. I won't mention names, but I seen the tweet. But that's the Raw talk. We'll move on to NXT talk. But before we do, let's look at some comments. Mitch Kopsky says, "What's up, guys?" What's up, Mitch? And then Bruce Harper says, "Hi, Nick." And says, "Nick, I hope you're doing good today." I'm doing very fine today, Bruce. Hope you're doing okay as well. And then John Z-Y6J says, "Hello, guys. Who you guys got one in the Royal Rumble?" Well, I kind of got Roman Reigns, according to betting odds, is a favorite. I may have to go Bron Breakker.
I'm gonna go with Bron Breakker too.
What about LA Knight?
No. I mean, he's a favorite, but he's not the likely. But it's unlikely he wins. I think he gets. I think we see something with him and Jericho in the Rumble when Jericho makes his return there, and maybe have one of he and Knight can eliminate the other.
Yeah,
I think that will be LA Knight's WrestleMania match, him and Jericho.
Yeah, but I got Bron Breakker for the men, and for the women, I kind of got Bianca Belair. So I got Bron Breakker and Bianca Belair. Who do you got?
For the women's Rumble, if Bianca is there in the Rumble, if she's back in time, I think she wins it.
Yeah. And then Nick Teodoro in the chat. What's up, new wrestling fans? What's up, Nick? If you're new watching this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe to FioriousNation. It would be greatly appreciated. Glad you're here, Nick. Great to have you. So we conclude that Raw.
Hope you're having a good day.
Yes. So we have the Raw talk out of the way. NXT talk. I'm not going to talk much about this. I don't think we will, because not much happened on NXT outside of the fate of the NXT Championship. Apparently on February 3rd edition of NXT Tuesday night on the CW, there's going to be a 6-man ladder match for the NXT Championship. They have some qualifiers next week.
Although there's a big story we're going to discuss.
Yes. And
there's a big story. Yeah. I think if you see the thumbnail, he's in the thumbnail.
He is definitely.
One of the guys we're going to talk about is in the thumbnail, and I personally would put him in NXT.
Yes. Well, we'll talk about
it later on.
We'll get to the AEW talk, which will be next after the NXT talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about that guy later.
But apparently that's the state of the NXT Championship. Obafemi vacated it because he's going to the main roster, rumored to go to the Raw brand. I don't know who you got winning this ladder match February 3rd for the vacant NXT title, that 6-man ladder match. But looking at that men's NXT roster, holy shit, bro, is it fucking bleak or what? Outside of Ricky Saints, Nathan Page, but those two will be called up by the end of this year.
It's fucking abysmal.
Who they got? Shiloh Hill? He's brand new. I'm not really sold
I like
on
the Vanity Project, but they're going to need more than these guys.
Yeah, Canoe Carver and the Vanity Project, Jackson Drake, Brad Bálor, and Ricky Smokes of Swipe Right. The 3 members of the Vanity Project. Then you got Canoe Carver, all from Evolve, moved up to NXT. That's nice, but they're going to need a lot more than that.
Yeah.
To replenish NXT. Big time. I mean, who else they got? Who else do they fucking have? I can't even, Sean Spears? Josh Briggs?
I like Sean Spears, but he's no main eventer.
No, he's a mid-card guy at best. Josh Briggs, I'm not high on him at all. They have nobody down there. Nobody. You know, that NXT men's division really needs all the help they can get, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
They
need if there's any division that needs a shakeup in the industry, it's the NXT men's division.
Yeah, but I don't even know. I don't know who you got winning the NXT Championship February 3rd. Ricky Saints, I could probably see called. Probably Ricky Saints is the save option because there's nobody else. There's really nobody else.
He's their biggest star.
Yeah,
he's their biggest star on the brand.
Yeah, so. I probably go Ricky Saints because I would go the safe bet because there's honestly no one else. Who else is there? They have to go Ricky Saints probably at this point. Unless we talk about the guy going into AEW talk soon. Maybe he comes in NXT and wins the title right away. Who knows? But I don't know. Not much happened on NXT compared to NXT New Year's Evil. But we did get Lola Vice making a challenge to Izzi Dame for the NXT Women's North American title. Jada Parker did return on NXT television to confront Blake Monroe. But other than that, not much really happened on NXT, man.
Yeah, I think they could use some changes.
And plus,
I think the brand will be
the main roster, Jordan Grace and all this other stuff. So Ruka's going to get called up, apparently.
Yeah, they need a shake-up.
Obafemi called up. Javon Evans, the called up as well. Strick Williams called the SmackDown. Who's
their top stars. I mean, they're being called up left and right.
Yeah, almost like gutting NXT. They really need all the help they can get, especially in the men's side.
Yeah.
So we talk about the NXT talk. That didn't take long. Now we move on to the AEW talk. AEW Dynamite, man. This past Wednesday, what was it? Maximum Carnage, they dubbed it as. They had MJF and Bandito for the AEW World Championship, but that was one of the few good parts. But, I mean, what else do you want me to say about AEW?
If I were to describe this show, I would say the beginning was good. I mean, Darby versus Pac was good. That was a good match. It's Darby and Pac, can't go wrong with either of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Pac looked great in there, and Darby bumping.
Yeah.
Although a lot of these bumps obviously make me witch, make me gasp at times, but Pac was a good opponent for Darby. Can we please now end Darby versus the Death Riders, please?
Yes, Darby.
Let this be the end.
Allin and the Death Riders have been feuding. Listen to this. Darby Allin and the Death Riders have been feuding since 2024. We're now in 2026. 2 years of this shit with Darby Allin and Death Riders. Why the fuck are they still feuding? Why?
Why?
This shit should have ended at World's End last month. Better yet, well before that. And we're still continuing this fucking feud.
We've had Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley multiple times. We had Darby Allin versus Danny Garcia, Darby Allin Wheeler Useless, Darby Allin and Claudio. The only combination of match we haven't gotten yet is Darby Allin versus Marina Shafir in a single
intergender match. But
yeah, it's the only.
Can we just please end that rivalry already? Yeah, but can we just please end the fucking rivalry already between Darby and the Death Riders?
Every member of the Death Riders now. Can we please move on? Please, they should have ended this after the I Quit match when Darby made Moxley say, "I quit."
Yep.
Looks like though with the post match angle though, after Darby won, Danny and Useless and Claudio, they came in to check on Pac. They didn't go after Darby.
No.
Let's hope this is the end, and Darby now can move on to the World Championship picture. Maybe we get him and MJF in a rematch. It could be one of the top feuds for Max as the champion.
Yeah. And then we get
Max versus Bandito. That was also a good match. Bandito, he showed up big time. I mean, we love Bandito here. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's nice seeing him on this run after, especially after that wrist injury that took him like 18 months to recover from and having 2 surgeries. So it's nice seeing him there. Tony has something with him. I think if there's one guy that if Tony wants a first Hispanic AEW World Champion, I think Bandito would be the perfect guy to do that.
Yeah, but
MJF retained obviously as expected.
But they're lucky to have MJF on television. They're also lucky MJF is world champion. Imagine if MJF was out injured still, or if he was still off TV, or imagine MJF was not in AEW anymore. Imagine where AEW would be right now. And MJF's not going to be in AEW forever either. He'll be one of the next to jump ship as soon as his AEW contract is up. Mark my words. As soon as that deal's up, he's going right to WWE. I'm telling you right now.
So what else? So we had the triangle of
like you really think MJF is going to be there forever? I don't think so.
Maybe not. He's been treated fairly good, I will say, but I think he needs better feuds. I think he needs to change things up in terms of character work. I think he's gotten a bit stale.
Yeah. I honestly think as soon as his contract's up, he's going right to WWE. I really think that.
I guess we'll see. But what else we got on Dynamite? Triangle of Madness against Harley, Willow, and Statlander. I mean, it was fine. It was solid, but did I care? No.
What is it?
They're going to be doing Tekla versus Stat.
And I think they booked Collision for tonight. The 6-woman tag, the Death Triangle, including Thekla versus Harley, Cameron, Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander.
Again, they do that again.
What are they?
I think they were going to get Thekla and Statlander. Maybe are they going to do Grand Slam Australia? I think they're going to do that in February. I think this is where they can do it.
Just don't have the tiny 16x16 ring too.
Yeah, please.
The one that injured Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, and he still hasn't been back in the ring since.
Yeah, but we did also.
I think we had a 4-way tag match with the
Demand.
Yeah, they are the not so Demand. The Gates of Agony against the Young Bucks, against Jake Doyle, Mark Davies, and Jet Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. But we'll talk more about them. This was the first of 2 matches they've had on the night, but we'll save that later.
But Ricochet, the national champion, he's got the Gates of Agony and the Demand.
Yeah, did they win? Of course not. I
actually made a crazy prediction. They'd actually win, but they didn't win.
Yeah, it should be one of the last bold predictions you make from. The Don Callis family win.
Oh, jeez. Well, Ricochet claims he's a big deal in AEW, though, bro. I'm just saying. So,
yeah.
But we got the.
We also had Samoa Joe cutting a promo backstage, which is always good to see. He set a bounty on Hangman Adam Page, and he sent the bounty hunter Brian Keith.
Jesus Christ!
And it was Brian Keith versus Hangman Page. I guess did Brian Keith collect the bounty? Of course not. Hangman Page beats him easily.
Yeah, waste of time segment that you can't get back. We have time for Brian Keith, but we can't get Wardlow or Britt Baker or Private Party on television. Great. We do also have the Rascals. Jake something or Jake Doyle's with TNA. Ace Austin, who? Yeah, from TNA, and was signed to AEW on Collision, then off TV. as I predicted. Josh Alexander doing fuck all in a Don Callis family. Jet Speed, a bright spot, but do you trust Tony Khan with them? I don't. And now you got the Rascals apparently
Kevin Knight work at TNA?
What?
Wait, did Kevin Knight work TNA? I don't think he did.
No, Jets. No,
I think he had one match there, but that was about it.
No, Mike Bailey did, but not. I don't think Kevin.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But
yeah, speaking of Josh, I think he's gonna wrestle one of the few matches they've announced for next week's Dynamite is Josh Alexander and Kenny Omega.
Yeah. But the Rascals from
should be nice. I mean, Josh Alexander, he's been. I think this is gonna be. He's been working with the big names recently. With the top that AEW that Tony Khan, he trusts. Like the Bucks, like a John Moxley.
Yes.
As a Tony, he obviously likes, and now he's gonna work Omega.
Mm-hmm.
He also worked. He also wrestled Adam Cole for the TNT Championship 6 months ago.
Yeah,
not bad set of names there for him to face. Although he should honestly be like in terms of the Don Callis family, he should at least be their top star aside from Okada and Fletcher. Takeshi's gonna get kicked out. I think he's gonna be kicked out soon. I think you should place Josh as the third most important guy in the Don Callis family next to Okada and Fletcher.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. But
yeah, even though like the Don Callis family seems like to be the NWO suddenly adding more members. They have 16, more members than they have officers.
16 members of the group. You could probably build a 1 hour show with them.
There's more members of the Don Callis family than there's been office members.
Dude, yeah, there's like 16 members of the Don Callis family. You could book a 1 hour show with them.
In a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you could book a 1 hour wrestling show with the members, 16 members of the Don Callis family. It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Literally. Like, what match are we going to get? Okada, Josh? Maybe Fletcher, Davies?
Oh, boy.
You don't know. You could literally build a 1 hour show around these guys.
Yeah. But the Rascals apparently...
Who's going to be the commentator, though? Don Callis?
I don't know.
Don Callis and Don Callis cardboard cutout?
Oh, gee. Oh,
who's going to be the ring announcer?
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's move on with the Don Callis.
Yeah, but the Rascals apparently signed with AEW. They're from TNA, signed with AEW. Apparently, it's Desmond Xavier, a.k.a. Wesley, Zachary Wentz, a.k.a. Nash Carter. You got Trey Miguel and Myron Reed. Apparently, they're all signed to AEW. I think they should have went to NXT, to be honest, especially that tag division. NXT needs all the help they can get to, but they're going to AEW.
I do wonder if Wesley, Desmond Xavier, that is, I do wonder if his release had something to do with the other members of the Rascals not signing with WWE. I do wonder. And then, or maybe, and maybe they wanted to work AEW for a while.
I don't know.
I mean, they could do something with the Rascals. I mean, they could win the trios belts. They could be tag team champions. There's many roles you could do with the Rascals, and they can do something. I think they're gonna make their in-ring debut. They just had a segment on Collision recently, and they're gonna make their in-ring debut soon. But I think the issue is though with the roster, the more you keep add to the roster, it just the other guys that are already there, they're going down the ladder. I wish obviously the best for the Rascals. Obviously, they should obtain success. I don't expect them to be world champions per se, but trios division, tag division, maybe a mid card, maybe you have one of the members, maybe a Wesley, for example, maybe a TNT title reign or a national title reign. I think that would be their sweet spot. They can, and you could obviously plug them in with an Okada and a Fletcher and a Ricochet and an Omega. And maybe Speedball, for example. They could face any of those guys and Jet Speed. But the problem, so I hope the best for them. But I think there's a glaring issue with an AEW. I mean, they have a great roster, obviously. Don't get me wrong. The more roster that Tony can use. I mean, he's not even using half the roster. But the issue,
dude, 75%. 75% of his roster he doesn't know how to use and doesn't use.
Yeah, but the problem is though, the more you keep add, there's the already the more you add, the more others are already on the card roster. They keep being pushed down and down and down.
Yeah, like Britt Baker, Private Party, Thunder Rosa, Jamie Hayter. a bunch of others like Josh Alexander, Okada, Omega, the Bucks, guys like them.
I mean, the Don Callis family is. I mean, honestly, the reason, Josh is on TV every week is because of the Don Callis family. He's basically in the top heel group, pretty much. He's only below Okada, Fletcher, and Takeshita.
Yeah, but
he just should be on their level, booked on their level.
Tony Khan promised he has way too many wrestlers, and I don't call for anyone to lose their job, but there's one thing Tony Khan should be doing is releases. He has way too many fucking wrestlers that he doesn't know what to do with. He has an overbloated roster to begin with, and those talented and those on the roster he's not using. Either use them, or if you have zero plans for them, why keep them around and make them more unhappy? And if they don't want to be there, just let them go. I mean, he doesn't know what to do with a lot of his roster to begin with. Like,
there are other people that haven't even been used in years.
He has no usage for, apparently.
Yeah, even there's people, you talk about people that have been used for weeks. There are people that haven't even been used for years.
It's like the thing is with Tony Khan, and it's sad. Tony Khan, every time he brings a new wrestler into the company or wrestlers in the company, he treats every single new signing like a shiny new toy he got from the toy store. He gets excited about them for 3-4 weeks. Then Tony gets bored very fast. And then after 3-4 weeks, he puts them away in the big old used toy chest to have them collect dust in there for 16 to 24 weeks to only then remember he's got them at his disposal. Yeah. Then he'll use them when he wants to. And it's a fucking shame, bro. It really is. And I give it honestly. And I don't trust Tony Khan with the Rascals whatsoever. Love the Rascals. Great talents. But I give this 3, 4, 5 weeks until they're strictly on Collision. I'm telling you right now. I give it in the middle 4 weeks until
they're doing $500,000 matches.
Oh, geez, yeah. Or an 8-man $100,000 match.
Yeah, a $100,000 match at Revolution. It's the Rascals against the Demand.
Yeah.
And one of them pins Ricochet.
Fucking
it won't surprise me. It actually will not surprise me if one of the Rascals actually pins Ricochet in a non-title one-on-one match.
And then it's a national title match, and then title match right out of the gate with no fucking build, no story. And then guess what?
Because we need to make Ricochet
will beat them, and then the Rascals go right to strictly Collision. Or worst case scenario, the Rascals and Ring of Honor, which is even worse.
God. Literally, I'd rather be on Collision at this point, but then Ring of Honor. But that's a low bar.
Awful. I mean, do you trust Tony Khan with the Rascals?
I like this. I mean, I think they could do more. Obviously, they should be more, but it depends on the booking.
Yeah, and I don't trust Tony Khan.
I like for the best, but I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah, I don't trust Tony Khan at all with the
Rascals.
They
could be. Although this is a team that should be a trios champion. If you want to stack that trios division, tag division, and make it what it once was, you have guys in there like the Rascals that can contribute.
Yeah, but again, exactly like you said, it all depends on the booking, and I don't trust Tony Khan one bit with the Rascals. I give it 3-4 weeks until the Rascals are only on Collision and probably off TV. I give it 3-4 weeks, and it's a shame because the Rascals are so good. And they could be something in the trios or tag division. All depends on what Tony Khan does in his booking, which I don't trust at all.
Yeah, and in terms of the roster, if you're going to add guys like that, I mean, Tony, I think last week, he did releases.
He did.
I'm sure you heard the news. I think Mercedes Martinez, Matt Taven. Yes, they were still employed. Somehow, they were still employed. Nothing against it. But why were they employed, really? What were they doing? May as well get rid of them. And that manager. I think that manager who used to manage the Lucha Bros.
Yes.
Yeah, they also let him walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if you're going to add, well, obviously, in terms of the booking, obviously, we already said we needed to say. But if you're going to add guys like the Rascals, I think you have to do releases. I think more than ever with the roster they've had and the people they're not using, I think Tony now should be doing a mass wave of releases. And again, we're not advocating for people to lose their job. Obviously, it's a bad thing. We don't want that to happen. But if you're not going to use them, just let them walk. Like what was Tony doing with a Matt Taven? What's he going to do with a Mike Bennett?
Nothing. And I'm sure Mike Bennett's next to be released soon.
May as well let them go. People don't even know if they're even employed.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Bennett's next to leave soon too.
Yeah. Like who's there on that roster? Like obviously there are bigger names, that are not being used. They should be used to their full potential. But it's like just look at the other names that I would describe them, the deadweight, the Dark Order. Why are the Dark Order still employed?
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, jobbers. Why is Tony Nese still employed?
Who? Premier Athlete? Wait,
Premier Athlete? Yeah, he's never on Collision.
I forgot he was even employed.
He's not even on Collision. Or on, and you're gonna, I think you may say a bigger.
Or what about
Davari?
You read my mind. Another one. Who?
Yeah. Like, why are these people still employed? Why? I have nothing against them personally, but like, why are they here? Guys like that. Why? You're basically giving them a paycheck to do nothing. Why are they on the roster? They don't make a difference to AEW television. They're not going to be in WWE either. May as well let them walk.
Though some that are talented that don't want to be there, that Tony's not using at all, like Britt Baker, instead of icing her until this fall when her contract's up, or instead of sending her to Guantanamo Bay until her deal's up and freezing her until her deal's up in this fall, instead of doing that to Britt Baker, here's a fucking hint, Tony Khan. If Britt Baker's that unhappy and doesn't want to be there, why don't you do what's right, Tony, and let her go?
Like obviously we mentioned like the deadweight, like who else? Dralistico, for example. Why is he employed?
Yeah, he's doing
like
nothing.
What does he what does he do on AEW television that's so great, that's so important that we need to keep him? Nobody even knows he's employed. Or Roosh.
Yeah, Roosh is actually very good.
What are they doing?
And Roosh is actually very good.
Like they're losers. Like let them walk.
Private Party are not doing shit.
Save money for fuck's sake. Save your budget.
Yeah, Private Party Private Party. They're pretty.
That's just a few examples of the deadweight that Tony should let go and release.
Private Party. I don't know if they have. I read something. They may have contracts coming up sometime. They're another one.
Private Party. Moving on from the deadweight. Let's talk about other names that that should be on TV but that are not being used, like a Private Party, for example. The last time we've seen them since when? We haven't seen them since they lost the tag titles to Lashley and Benjamin.
And I read a rumor months ago they're probably headed to WWE, or WWE has interest in them.
They should go. I say why not?
Put them in NXT. They're not being used. It's the tag division down there. They need help.
Yeah, they're not going to be used. May as well let them walk. If their deal is coming up soon, let them walk.
Britt Baker, instead of icing her,
ridiculous. At a time when the tag division can use something, you have Private Party, a talented tag team, and they're not even on TV.
No,
it's embarrassing
at all. Keith Lee was not seen all year of last year. Same thing with Britt Baker.
I don't know what's going on with Keith Lee. I mean, I hope he's all right, health-wise.
Yeah,
but I think a few months ago he said he was healthy.
I don't know. I hope he's okay. But
yeah.
But he's another one that they're not using.
Like he's been healthy for months now, according to him. Like, why is he not being used? If you're not going to use him, release him.
Yeah, send him back home to WWE where he belongs, and he should have never left there in the first place. Let him go back home to Triple H, who knows how to book Keith Lee.
Like these are just a few examples. Deadweight and other people that are, and obviously, one part being the deadweight people that don't offer anything, and the others, the other part that do offer something, but they're not being used, like a Private Party and a Keith Lee, for example. Like, let these guys walk. You're not going to use them. You have no plans for them. You have no vision.
Nope. And
just give them the release.
And Tony's clearly fumbled those guys, like those ones like Britt Baker, Private Party, Keith Lee, Thunder Rosa, Jamie Hayter. I read some rumor that Jamie Hayter might be one of the next to leave. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Wardlow's a big one that Tony Khan has absolutely fumbled big time. Wardlow.
Yeah. And on his first night back, he's in the Don Callis family too.
And then he got
we have no plans for these guys. What do? We put them in the Don Callis family. As if we need
the epitome of no plans in AEW.
Yeah.
But Wardlow's another guy. Even though he's hurt, he's another one. You're not doing jack shit with him. Let him go.
Another guy that you have criminally underutilized. You've criminally fumbled when he should be a bigger deal than he is. May as well let them. Again, we don't want to advocate for people to get fired, but is it a bad thing to get released at this day and age?
No.
If anything, it should be looked at as a good thing. It should be looked at as a good thing as long as you make the best of it.
Exactly.
And that both WWE and not just AEW, but WWE too, they have a huge roster. They've been doing releases.
That's what
AEW, they're not exempt from doing cuts. I mean, obviously they did the cuts last week, but even last year they cut Ricky Starks. Now Ricky Saints, they've cut Rusev and Ray Phoenix and Aleister Black. They've granted them their releases.
Yeah, and Tony Khan iced Ray Phoenix and tacked injury time to his deal before finally doing the right thing and letting him go early.
Yeah, Ricky Starks, how many... He was supposed to have been out in the summer of 2024. He added time to his deal, but then he granted him his release.
Yep.
Rusev, he was never using Rusev. He granted him his release. Malachi Black, he was the only of these guys who was being used on television, although it was not in a prominent spot criminally. But he was at least on TV. I think he had that match with he wrestled Adam Cole on his last Dynamite match. His Malachi's that is his last Dynamite match, and then he worked Full Gear, a tag team title ladder match, and then he also lost, and then his deal ran out a few months later. He let him walk.
Yep.
I don't see why he wouldn't let a private party walk. Grant them the releases.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna bring in guys like the Rascals and a Zeta Steel and a Jake Doyle, you have to let go of some people. I'm not saying doing release every week or doing bloodbaths every week, but you need to balance your roster. You don't want to make it overblown.
Right. And rumors of Anna Jay apparently making the jump to WWE, which I think would be the right move. Their deal's coming up in March as well.
Yeah, I think she's. Speaking of Anna and Jamie, I think they're doing a signing, a big event signing in New York. I think it's Anna, Jamie, Ty Mello, Anna Jay's tag partner and best friend. I think Renee Young. I assume John Moxley will be there, and but also in that signing, the autograph signings that will be done is Booker T, Paige, and Kurt Angle. Yeah, Booker T, an NXT commentator, and Kurt Angle, obviously WWE legend, WWE and TNA legend, and a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And Paige, who is rumored, who I think will go back to WWE.
Yes, I think she will. I could see her in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
She was at
I don't know. So probably Anna, maybe she can do that signing as an AEW talent. Maybe. But then also there's Booker T, who's also signed to WWE. Kurt Angle's on a Legends deal.
Yep.
I mean, so she can maybe do that and then leave. I think NXT will need help, obviously. I think the people you put in on NXT are people like an NJ and Private Party.
I agree.
As soon as their deals are up, I think they should be on NXT as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
Which brings us.
And Anna Jay, yes. Which Anna Jay, I think making the jump is the right career move.
Which brings us. I was gonna say it before you interrupted me, but I have no issue with you interrupting me, though. Obviously. Which brings us to this next topic, the big one.
Yeah. And it was funny, we talked about it during watching Dynamite this past Wednesday. Then it was after the show, and they were taping Collision, I think. Apparently, this was tonight. AEW Trios match. The Ops dropped the Trios titles apparently tonight to Adam Page and Jet Speed. Why Adam Page and Jet Speed are a trio, I have no fucking idea. I'm not the booker and Tony Khan is. I wish I could know, and I'd love to be a fly on the wall on that one there.
Yeah,
but the Ops dropped the Trios titles, but it's in the thumbnail, and it's funny we talked about him, and it was after Dynamite you video called me back, and you're like, dude, and it was funny we just talked about it not long ago, and I think this guy was having a deal up this sometime this year anyway.
Yeah,
Will Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs apparently is no longer in AEW. His AEW contract expired Thursday night, midnight. No longer in AEW, and it's expected he is making the jump to WWE. It didn't take long at all. Yeah. And he apparently, he told Tony the day of his contract expiring, Tony, I'm not re-signing. And Tony
this
Khan.
this is what happened. To get back to you guys, to show us, what were we talking about? We were watching Dynamite, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously together. If you see, I think at Jet Speed, they were fresh off a match, the 4-way tag match. This was when we were talking. This wasn't their only when I said 2 matches on the same night because Collision was taped after Dynamite and the spoilers got out. So technically, there was like 4 hours of AW television on the same night, and Collision is airing now on Saturday. A backstage segment was aired, obviously, with Jet Speed after their loss, with Swerve and Hangman. One of them, they want to team up with Jet Speed. They want them as their partner to face the Ops on Collision, and Jet Speed obviously accepted Hangman's offer. Now, in the moment, obviously, if you're an AEW fan, obviously if you're someone who likes AEW or wrestling fan in general, WWE, AEW, you watch all wrestling, those especially the 2 top promotions. So obviously we were watching, me and Nick, we were watching, and we're on our first thought as everybody else, we're saying, why? Obviously, they book a trios match with Hangman and Jet Speed against the Ops on Collision. And this match came out of nowhere. We're wondering why. Now, but then after Dynamite, after the news came out after Dynamite, now we understood why.
Yes. The Ops are no longer the trios champions.
They booked the match. They booked Jet Speed out of nowhere with the team up with Hangman against the Ops because Hobbs, who was backstage, I believe he was definitely backstage on Dynamite. He wasn't seen on the show. He and Tony were negotiating for months and months on end until last Wednesday. And Hobbs, obviously, he informed Tony in advance that he wasn't resigning. By all accounts, they left on good terms. Hobbs, he left AEW on good terms. He did business the right way on the way out. But the decision came on Wednesday. He made his decision, and he told Tony that he wasn't resigning. And out of nowhere, that they announced the trios title match on Collision. And we've seen the spoilers already. I think everyone knows the result. Jet Speed and Hangman, they are the trios champions. And obviously, congrats to Speedball and Kevin Knight. They're really good. And it's their first title in AEW, so that's a good thing. They should win the tag team titles soon, too. They're really fun. And Kevin Knight pinned Powerhouse Hobbs to win the match and the trios championships. And this will turn out to be Hobbs' last match in AEW before he moves on to the WWE.
Yeah. And apparently Tony Khan made a big offer to retain him. But Will Hobbs said no.
As he should. Hobbs is great. We've been big. We've spoken about Hobbs for years. We've watched him. He's an incredible talent. Great guy too in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler. He has that look about him, that physique. So he's the man. And by all accounts, as Tony showed, he should obviously have negotiated with the guy. A guy like a Hobbs, this is a guy you want on your roster.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that he wanted to retain him. But
did he want to retain him just to keep him from going to WWE? There's more money to have in AEW than WWE. Yeah, the money is great and greater than AEW, but money isn't everything. Money is not everything. And Will Hobbs pretty much chose to bet on himself, take a lesser pay in WWE, but to become a bigger star in WWE than in AEW. And apparently, probably most likely wanted to grow than what he is now. He was never going to get growth in AEW. And WWE is where you go to grow. The big leagues like WWE. And apparently, Will Hobbs chose Triple H over Tony Khan and the money. And money may be greater in AEW, but it's not everything. You could make, this is any job in general. You could make all the money in the world, but if you're not happy and you're not treated right, eventually you're going to say something. And it's more than just the money.
What you want is happiness. You want to be satisfied.
You can't put a price on happiness.
You can be rich all you want, but where's the joy?
Exactly. You know, Hobbs pretty much takes his career seriously and chose his career over the paycheck. And Hobbs is not that guy that's just there for the money. He genuinely cares about what he does in his career, and he genuinely wants to grow. And he's a very good talent. Hobbs is great. Like you said, the physique, he can talk. I mean, he can wrestle. He's not bad on the mic. He probably could use more work talking on the mic, promos, charisma probably. And he's 34 years old. He's got potential. And I will say this, and pretty much an AEW original, he's been there for 6 years around the pandemic era of AEW, pretty much wrestled everyone in AEW, Moxley, Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. He's wrestled almost everyone there.
He's wrestled Takeshita, he's wrestled Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. I think he wrestled Omega, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
He's wrestled the Bucks. He's wrestled
Hangman.
He wrestled also Rusev.
Or Miro,
he was in AEW. He and Ricky Saintons as well. He wrestled Keith Lee. He wrestled who else has he worked with in AEW? Claudio, I believe. He worked with Jericho.
Yeah, he worked with Jericho. But he's also been in.
He's worked with Sting. He's worked with Sting.
He's worked with Darby. CM Punk he's worked with Team Taz, with Hook, Hobbs, Bryan.
And by all fairness, the run with the Ops has been really good. It has helped him. It was a good run for him. And Samoa Joe, working with a Samoa Joe, that can help anybody. I'm sure he's learned a lot from Joe and he respects him. And Joe took him under his wing.
But had Will Hobbs stayed with AEW, was he going to go anywhere or grow than what he is now? The answer is no.
So he's worked with everybody. He's been a champion. He's been TNT champion, although it should have been longer than it was. He's been a trios champion with the Ops. He won it all in Texas. I think that with Hobbs, in terms of his run in AEW, I would say was solid, but it should have been more than it was. I think there were points where he should have been pushed at a higher level than he was. I think for as good as obviously in ring he was good. He was given opportunities, but I think in some ways he was kind of underutilized.
Yeah, he could have been a lot. He was
given the short end of the stick. When it looked like there were points where he could have been a main event guy, and I think he also wrestled for the World Championship too. So he's pretty much almost done it all in this company. But he was also underutilized in some way. He was never pushed. There was a ceiling. There was a ceiling that he hit. That he was that no matter how hard he worked, and he put in the work, he was hardworking. But he never ascended to the next level. And it's not his fault, obviously.
No.
Obviously it's Tony in his booking. But with Hobbs, he hit a ceiling that he was never gonna get out of. No matter what he did. Even though he's great and he should be more than he is.
Yeah.
But there was a ceiling at him.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Will Hobbs is, I will say this.
But overall, I will say the run overall there was good, but there were also bad. Like he had that short reign with the TNT title.
Yeah, not all of it was bad, but
ridiculous. And then he was in the Don Callis family. Like, what did he do with the Don Callis family? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. But I will say this about Will Hobbs, though. At the end of the day, not all of his run in AEW was terrible, but I have to be honest. Tony Khan dropped the ball on Will Hobbs, and he could have been so much more. And he's been there for 6 years, fought everyone. He wasn't going to go anywhere and grow had he stayed. And he chose to go to WWE. And I will say this, I think Will Hobbs to WWE is a big deal.
Honestly, that's a good move on his
part. If they're looking for
the time was now, honestly, for him to leave.
Yeah, if they're looking for next Big E or Bobby Lashley, look no further than Will Hobbs, man. Got a lot of potential. He's still very much young. And it's a big deal, honestly, for
the time was now for him, honestly. Absolutely. Especially with Triple H in charge of the main roster and Shawn Michaels running NXT. The time was now. Especially if there was any time for him to jump to WWE, it was now. Especially when we talk about NXT.
Yeah,
that men's division, they need all the help they get for real.
I wouldn't be surprised if these secretly signed there now to WWE. And honestly, I'd have them in NXT first, for like a year or two, then call him up. He could be on Raw or SmackDown, but I think NXT he's needed more.
I wouldn't hate it.
Especially calling up Javon Evans, Obafemi, and NXT men's division needs all the help they can get. He could very well be NXT champion right out of the gate. Who knows?
He could be NXT champion at Stand and Deliver. You never know.
Yeah.
We could get him and Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship.
And both men know each other very well. They used to tag together.
I think they challenged for the tag team titles several times in AEW too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history.
So I love this move, man.
I wouldn't mind Hobbs on the main roster. He's already, he's been on TV for 6 years. He is, he is the complete package in what you want as a wrestler. So it would surprise me. So I wouldn't hate it if he moves to Raw or SmackDown straight away.
Right.
But I think the right move for him for now, at least. I mean, he's made roster ready, but I think the right move for him now is to have some time in NXT and be the top guy of that brand and be the world champion.
Yeah, in ring he couldn't go, but as far as promos, charisma, personality, I don't know about that. I mean, he's not bad. It could be better. This is probably why have him in NXT in the Performance Center for like a year or two and then call him up is probably what I'd say. It can't
especially with the call-ups, obviously, what you say, Javon Evans, Rick Williams, and Obafemi.
Yep.
They're going to need, so NXT, they need something great. They need something big. Hobbs, I think Hobbs, he could be that Obafemi replacement on NXT, the big monster of the brand that you could build around and you make him world champion.
Absolutely.
And he can work with the newer guys in NXT as well, that are learning. And they can learn from a guy like a Hobbs, who's worked with pretty much everybody. He's worked with big names.
Yes.
And obviously names that are, even if they're not big, they're good in the ring that he learned from. He can use his knowledge and his experience to help those youngsters in NXT.
And fellow former AEW names in NXT too, like Lexis King and Sean Spears, Ricky Saints, Blake Monroe, the former
Page.
Mariah May.
Ethan Page too.
Oh yeah, Ethan Page. Yeah, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
And also I think Hobbs is friends with Cody Rhodes, I think, and Jade Cargill.
He's friends with both Cody and Punk.
Yes, and he gets along with Punk too.
Yeah. So I'm sure they vouched for him. I'm sure Ricky as well vouched for him.
Yeah.
So but I'm kind of surprised though he was allowed to go early though.
We talked about it months ago. It was sometime this year, probably middle this year to spring. He was going to be a free agent. But
yeah, I think we talked about it a few months ago because we were talking about it every week, and I was talking about it with a friend of mine.
Yes,
I won't name him though, out of respect. Yeah. But me and him, we were talking for a while, and I let him know first, about Hobbs, and you and I informed you too.
Yes,
Nick. Yeah, about his deal. When was it coming up? And honestly, if I'm honest, I didn't honestly think his deal was going to be up this month. I actually thought it was going to be in March, because if you recall, he signed it obviously in AEW September 2020. I think he signed a new deal in 2022. Yeah. I assume his deal was going to run out in September of last year, but then obviously I think he had that ACL injury that he had with Mox.
Yeah, and I think Tony was going to tack time to his contract because of injury time.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to be up in March and then he leaves, and still be there in time for Stand and Deliver.
But I'm surprised it came this quick.
I think maybe, and I don't know. This is coming from me, so I don't, so unless Hobbs can confirm it, so maybe he and Tony were able to get an agreement. They're able to reach an agreement where Hobbs is allowed to leave early from his contract than expected.
Probably
because if you could recall too, Mariah May, her deal was coming up last year in the summer of 2025. Summer, maybe around the July, August.
Mm-hmm.
But then she showed up in June. She showed up much earlier than we thought.
Yeah.
Maybe Hobbs did something similar to Blake, where he and Tony, they came into agreement and he was allowed to leave early. And obviously I do believe Hobbs, I think he picked Jet Speed to be his final opponents for in AEW, and he put them over on the way out.
But Will Hobbs also played it smart as well, because I think
he kept it quiet. He kept it very secretive because we didn't know about. I think it's been known for a while behind the scenes.
Yes.
But I think, but it wasn't made public until just last week when Dave Meltzer of The Observer, he said that WWE are very interested in Hobbs and they are very high on him, and there are people in that company that want him there.
And rightfully so. They would be foolish not to want a guy like
Will
Hobbs.
It's been known for a while. It just wasn't made public until last week, and now we know why it took them this long for the story to get revealed to the public. Because honestly, I think by that point, I think maybe Hobbs knew by that point he was leaving. I think and Tony knew he was leaving. Hence why they got the story out, and they booked the way they did on Wednesday with the trios title match, and the Hobbs dropping them to Hangman and Speedball and Kevin Knight because they knew Hobbs was leaving.
Yeah,
and Hobbs informed them in advance.
Yes, and I think the day of his contract expiring, he let Tony Khan know, and Will Hobbs pretty much played it the smart way. Instead of like saying, "Yeah, contract's coming up soon, I'm going to go to WWE," instead of saying that, he kept things silent because he probably had he said something, and he did get injured too. He probably knew Tony would attack injury time unless he kept it quiet. And Will Hobbs played it smart and safe. And honestly,
was injury time no tech to his deal?
I don't know, but I do have to give Hobbs credit.
That's what for as long as he was.
Yeah, but I do have
because he said it's September 2020. So, and if he resigned in 22, it was going to be up in 2025 in September. But then obviously the injury, added time to his deal. So maybe he got out of there earlier. Obviously he went to Tony and they sat down and he was able to get Hobbs, that is, he got what he wanted, which is to leave earlier. Obviously we're in a respectful manner.
But Will Hobbs played it the smart way, man. I gotta give him credit, man. And
he's a true professional.
He is. He's
a true professional. He didn't leave Tony in the dark. He could have easily done that. He didn't leave Tony or AEW in the dark. He negotiated with Tony until the end, and he kept it secretive from everybody. And then when it was clear that he was leaving, they made the announcement that he was leaving. And it was midnight. His deal expired at midnight, and he was free on Thursday.
Yep. And he's no longer
played it smart. He did things the right way. He didn't piss off anyone. He did his job.
Nope.
And now he's a free agent, and he's heading to WWE.
And that's a great get for WWE, man.
And honestly, this is something like that. A move like that, that's needed to happen. And obviously it relates as well to the, if with AEW signing, the newer guys, if you're gonna bring in new guys, some has to be let go. I think in a kind of way, Hobbs did kind of see. With Tony bringing in these guys, he knew, that he had to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you had to reshuffle the roster. You have to make things fresh. And this was the right time for him to leave. And he played it smart, and he did things the right way on the way out.
Yeah, honestly, for Will Hobbs, bro, it was now or never. And he's 34 years old. He's still young and in his prime. But honestly, bro, and I don't know if you feel the same way, it was either now or never for Will Hobbs in WWE, man.
Yeah, I think it had to happen. The time was now. This was if there was any point for him to jump ship, it was now.
Exactly. And listen, whatever brand gets him, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, whichever brand gets Will Hobbs services, they are very lucky to have a very talented guy like Will Hobbs. And something, he's gonna fucking kill it. He's gonna do very well.
He's a guy that WWE dreams of. Obviously, if Vince McMahon was there, if Vince was in charge, this is the guy Vince McMahon would have a heart on. He'd drool over.
Look at those muscles, pal. Look at those muscles, pal. I want him as WWE champion now, pal.
Yeah, he absolutely will make him a world champion in like 3 months on the road.
He would have had a literal heart on for Will Hobbs. Exactly. Vince would have had a legit heart on for Will Hobbs. I kid you not. If Vince was still in charge. And this is the type of guy who's gonna fucking kill it. I'm telling you now.
Yes, yeah. So whichever brand he's on, he's gonna be a star. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, they're gonna make him a star.
They're gonna mold him and make him and Will Hobbs is gonna be a bigger star in WWE than he ever was in AEW. I'm telling you now. Give it like a year or two, or probably sooner. He is going to be bigger than he was in AEW. Mark my words. Mark my words. He's a future piece of that company for years to come. He's up there like with Ricky Saints and Obafemi, Carmelo Hayes, Bron Breakker, Trick Williams.
You know, one match I would want to see though. There's tons of matches that he can do in WWE. Obviously, the matches he can have, running it back with a Punk and a Cody and a Ricky and Ethan Page, guys like that. But there's newer guys he could work with, like an Obafemi,
exactly,
and a Gunther, and a Bron Breakker.
I'm excited for Will Hobbs. I'm very excited for Will Hobbs.
He's got tons of opponents he could work with.
Yeah. I'm honestly.
What would I do with him? Yeah, obviously, what would we do? We would put him on NXT. He would be if I'm booking this, he would be the NXT champion at standard delivery. Book Hobbs and Ricky at standard delivery, and he's the NXT champion.
Probably. I would say NXT is the right move. I think he's needed more down there than he could do fun. He could put him on Raw or SmackDown, but I think for now, NXT's this right way for now to go about it. Give him a year or two in NXT, and then call him up to Monday or Friday. I think that's the way to go.
Although I will not rule him out for the Royal Rumble. Don't rule him out as a surprise for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I would not be if that happens. Hey, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, and since he's a free agent, you never know. Maybe he signed his contract right now. He's a free man. I mean, he's not signed to AEW now. You can, no. He can negotiate with Hunter and Khan and the guys at TKO. They can negotiate now and sign him.
Probably. But I'm excited for Will Hobbs in WWE. And man, it's just
he will not be the last guy who jumps this year. I mean, we've seen Matt Cardona, although he wasn't working, although he did work at AEW, but he was never really under AEW contract. And he was working TNA for the most part last year. Matt Cardona, who he wrestled Trick Williams in a solid match, in a qualifying match for the WWE title, fatal 4-way number one contenders match.
Yep.
He was the first to come in. I think we see Cardona in the Rumble match.
Yep.
I think he was the first of many who will sign to WWE this year. I think Jericho is coming in at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Hobbs, I think he's already signed. He's gonna be on TV very quickly.
I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as he was a free agent, he signed the WWE contract right as soon as he was a free agent. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I'm sure Triple H and HBK were on the phone with him as soon as he was a free agent. As
soon as midnight hit.
Yeah, would not shock me at all.
Yeah.
But Chris Jericho, Will Hobbs, Anna Jay is going to be out in March. Britt Baker,
I think she jumps. Yeah, I think Anna Jay too jumps. I think Private Party also.
Britt Baker's another one. I love to see Thunder Rosa jump. She's not doing anything in AEW. Imagine Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, a Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay in NXT, especially if you're calling up Sol.
You can do that. Honestly, I think there's more likely Anna jumps and Jamie than a Britt. I mean, it depends if Tony even grants her release.
Well, her contract is up this fall, but Tony
may as well release her.
Tony's apparently icing her in Guantanamo Bay, and her contract's not up till this September.
If I were to make the next people to jump after Cardona and Hobbs and Jericho, I would say Jamie and Anna and Private Party.
Apparently, there's a rumor that Jamie Hayter's probably soon to leave too. That would not shock me, and she's not doing anything there, nothing there. And she lost the World's End to Statlander. I think she's as good as gone.
Yeah.
I think she's as good as gone from AEW. And I think she's better off in WWE. She's doing nothing in AEW. And
honestly, I would put her to on NXT. I think if there's any brand that can use the help right now, it's that NXT brand. And
when you're calling up Jordan Grace, you're calling up Sol Ruka, JC Jane, and others, the NXT that are ready for the main roster.
Why not replay? I mean, you have Anna, Hayter, and Private Party and Hobbs. They can easily step up. You could easily bring them on and have them on NXT.
Yeah,
and fresh things up.
They could give NXT that boost that they absolutely desperately need.
Yeah,
I think that's the right call. Will Hobbs, the WWE, I think is the right career move. I'm excited. He's gonna do really, really well for himself, and I mean, if Vince was there, I would not trust him with Will Hobbs, but I know Triple H didn't have a good creative year 2025, but I would trust him more so than Vince with Will Hobbs, and Will Hobbs will do very well for himself. And I don't want to hear, WWE is racist, Triple H is trying to prove to those.
Yeah, I already seen it on social media.
You'll never hear the end of it.
Even though Obafemi, they're giving him video packages. They're hyping him up. Trick Williams, he's going to be the number one contenders 4-way.
Yeah.
And Saturday Night's main event.
Javon Evans is another one.
Carmelo Hayes is the U.S. champion.
Yep. Leon Slater, who I'm very sure WWE will buy out his TNA contract. like they did Joe Henry.
Yeah, they're very high on Hobbs.
Yes.
Hobbs will be fine.
Yep. Hobbs will be more than fine in WWE. He's gonna make a very big splash, and I'm excited for Will Hobbs to WWE. That's a very good get. A very good get. I would say this: if you're looking for a next Big E or Bobby Lashley, sadly Big E will never wrestle again, which sucks. And Bobby Lashley in AEW now. But I will say this to conclude the Will Hobbs talk: if you are looking for a next Bobby Lashley or a next Big E in WWE, look no further than Will Hobbs, man. I think he's that guy. Look, in ring, guy has a lot of potential. I think he's the next Bobby Lashley or Big E for in the future. I really do. And I'm very pumped to see what is next for him and with him going to WWE. I think he's going to do very, very well for himself. I'm sure Triple H and Shawn Michaels will take care of him very, very well.
Absolutely.
So, and he apparently chose career over money. Goes to show you money's not everything. And I respect
I respect that about him.
You can make all the good money you want, but it's more than just money. And Will Hobbs knew that, and I don't think he's that stupid. So I gotta respect Will Hobbs for what he did, and I mean, in being in AEW for 6 years, done everything. I mean, he could have took the money, but I honestly think it's the right move going to WWE.
Yeah.
I really do. And like you said, dude, bringing in the Rascals, you knew Will Hobbs was going to get pushed down. And he knew that. So I think it's career-wise, I think it's the best move he could make. So
yeah, I think we're gonna see reshuffling, obviously, with the Hobbs gone. I think we're gonna see some reshuffling on that AEW rosters. With people coming in, I think there will be more out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Hobbs, obviously, hey, best of luck to him. He's gonna fucking kill it.
Fuck yeah. So then we move on to, and then apparently WWE has interest in Gabe Kidd. I'm not sure if he jumps either. He would be nice for NXT, but
no, it's unlikely. I think Hobbs. We know he's coming in.
Yes.
He's coming in, but Gabe, no.
Yeah. But then we conclude.
There's another guy though. I think. Did you talk about him last week? David Finlay.
I did. Yes, that's the son of.
I think there's more likely he goes to WWE than a Gabe Kidd. I think
Gabe Kidd. Very nice for WWE too.
Yeah, I think Gabe. I think David. I think he goes to NXT too. His father already works there behind the scenes.
He's the agent.
Yeah, I think Gabe though continues to do work for New Japan and AEW.
Yeah.
Do more work there, but the David Finlay and the Hobbs, I think they're gonna go to WWE. I mean, Hobbs is already almost confirmed now. I think David joins him too.
So HBK and Triple H 2026 are going shopping.
Yeah.
Apparently they're going shopping. You got Will Hobbs, maybe Gabe Kidd, you get David Finlay and such and more. So we'll see what they do to.
Yeah, they're determined to make 2026 way better than 2025 was.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully their mission is to replenish NXT and get Raw and SmackDown their rosters to where they need to be. So
yeah, and I think they aired the match now, and with Hobbs, they aired the trios title match, and yeah, the match happened, and the Hobbs are no longer the trios champions. I mean, we already said it several times already, but Collision just aired, and they aired the match now, and yes, Kevin Knight, he pinned Hobbs to win the trios titles for himself, Hangman, and Speedball.
Yeah, but
hey, again, congrats obviously to Speedball and Hangman, Speedball and Kevin Knight, and Hangman obviously another title win for him in AEW. So hey, congrats to Speedball and Kevin Knight, their first title win in AEW, and best of luck to Will Hobbs in WWE. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna be a star.
Absolutely.
So we're done. So now this was the big story. Hobbs, he was the big story, and we can now move on
to TNA talk on AMC. Now,
speaking of a company that is not shopping, More people are getting out.
This guy watched TNA on the AMC premiere last night. I didn't watch. Thank God I didn't watch.
If you didn't watch, you missed to watch. The best part of this show was honestly like AJ appearing in the opening and Mike Santana regaining the TNA Championship. Oh my God, TNA World Championship, which he never should have lost in the first place.
Yeah, Mike Santana won the TNA World Championship at Bound for Glory in Lowell, Massachusetts, where honestly they had Slammiversary before that last summer in New York, UBS Arena. Santana should have won it there, but he won it at Bound for Glory last October in Lowell, Massachusetts. Then he had not one single title defense after winning it at Bound for Glory. Then shortly after he wins the title Bound for Glory, soon after, out of nowhere, drops the title to Frankie Kazarian. Why? I don't fucking know. I wish I could tell you why that happened.
LOL TNA.
No sense. Yeah, LOL
That's what
TNA.
it is. Yeah, that's what it is. LOL TNA.
And then they had the rematch on the AMC premiere. Santana won the title back. He should have never lost the title in the first place. Right move, Mike Santana won. Happy for him. I like him. But he should have never lost that title in the first place. Why did he even lose it to Frankie Kazarian? Is what I want to know.
Beats me.
But the ending and the beginning with AJ Styles coming out was good. And even AJ Styles, he didn't do much. The middle, what happened in the middle, outside of like the first match of the Hardys and Elijah opening, outside of that, holy shit, what the fuck were they thinking?
We got Perez Hilton on the show. Who?
Yeah, Perez Hilton. I've heard of him. I'm not big.
Say after me, Perez Hilton.
Yeah, Perez Hilton. Yeah, I've heard of him, but
who? Yeah, exactly.
He's a Hollywood celebrity fucking guy.
Yeah, when was the last time he was relevant? I can't remember.
They showed Candice Michelle on the front camera, who's more WWE than TNA.
I don't think she's ever worked a TNA match. I mean, it was nice seeing her, but it was nice seeing her. Nothing against her.
Yeah,
but did she work a TNA match?
No, she has nothing to do with them.
Of course, it's kind of strange she was there in a way.
Yeah, she has nothing to do with TNA whatsoever. So why is she even there?
There was a segment. There was a segment with Ryan Nemeth. Unfortunately, yeah, he sucks. There was a segment with Ryan Nemeth, and you could clearly see. Honestly, I don't know who's running TNA production. I don't know who, but whoever shot that shot in that camera with Ryan Nemeth and that crowd. Yeah, whoever shot that, they need to be fired as soon as possible. I hope they were fired.
Bro, their TNA production fucking sucks. It sucks. WWE production actually knows what they're doing.
They're doing a segment with Ryan Nemeth and Mara Shante, and you could clearly see there were empty seats. Clearly, there were empty seats. They didn't even cover it. They didn't even cover the seats.
Bro, if
they literally made it visible on television.
Yeah, bro. Even if WWE had some empty sections, would you ever see WWE have their cameras show the empty side of the arena if they had any empty sections of the arena? Fuck no. Fuck no.
And you know what the worst part that is? They didn't even tarp it. Tarp it.
No tarps at all.
This has to be the worst production I've ever seen. Literally, AEW. And obviously, they've been getting criticism, rightfully so, about their empty arenas. They can't even fill like 4,000 seat if their life depended on it. And when they run these big arenas for their TV shows, at least the pay-per-views they draw, they get maybe 10,000. But they're for their TV shows, Dynamite, Collision, they can't even get. They barely get 2,000 in an 18,000 seat venue.
Embarrassing.
Even they like tarp off the arenas and they don't show the empty seats. Even they don't show the empty seats. But I think this is the first time, unless that happened on AEW, that is, so someone remind me. But I think this is the first time that I've legitimately seen a wrestling company show the empty seats and they're not even tarped off. And they're booking a segment with Ryan Nemeth of all people, with Mara Shante, which was absolutely terrible.
And I think they booked the intergender match at Genesis, I think.
Oh my God. Why? But this was a production error. This was a shit show.
Yeah.
Who makes production like this? Can you imagine? And they will never do this, obviously, because their production is great. Can you imagine if WWE did this? During the Vince McMahon era?
Because
obviously these shows were terrible.
You would not even see one of that because
these shows back then were absolute shit. These shows were shitty back then, and they had half the arena topped off under Vince McMahon. But even they would never do something like this. They would never have the production show the empty seats in the arena. If they did that, Vince McMahon would basically storm off and basically scream at them.
He'd be pissed.
Production people, what the hell was that?
Vince would blow a fucking gasket.
Yeah, he would blow a fucking gasket, and he would fire them as soon as he sees it.
Yeah, he'd fire him right in the fucking spot.
I wouldn't have
so fucking just furious.
Yeah, it would make his head explode.
Vince would chew him right up. And fired him legit right on the spot like that. Yeah. You would never see this ever in WWE. Like TNA's production, holy shit, fucking amateurs compared to WWE's production, who actually knows what the fuck they're doing. Maybe they could use some rental cameras from WWE because TNA's production fucking blows.
Literally,
it blows. Like, what the fuck did we get Thursday night?
What else we get a segment with Perez Hilton and the Elegance brand.
Like, dude, I see, and you've seen the shots in the show, right? Like backstage segments, filming people, wrestlers from the back, like filming their backs. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, are we that not updated with technology times TNA? Like,
they are stuck in 2003 or something. They're stuck in there.
Bro, what the fuck was that we got Thursday night? It was fucking awful. It's fucking amateur hour. It's like people that don't know how to do production or television, and it's fucking embarrassing.
Oh my God.
Dude, I have better production than TNA. And I don't even work for TNA.
Maybe they should hire you for free.
Yeah. Maybe hire me, you. You know?
Yeah.
We do a much better job than the people actually work there for the company production-wise because clearly the people at TNA production are fucking clueless. Clueless.
Speaking of clueless, they booked this segment. They booked this segment with the Elegance brand and Perez Hilton. Why? Why is this on the show?
And then we got a new Elegance brand member, AJZ, which apparently, and shout out to Awesome Championship Wrestling, ACW, owned by one half of the ACW World Tag Team Champion, Tail Collins. By the way, if you're watching this, Tail Collins, shout out to you in ACW. AJZ apparently wrestled in ACW throughout last year. And apparently it looks like he is signed to TNA as part of the Elegance brand. He has a good look. Looks like a muscular version of Jack Perry. He's impressive. I've watched him live a couple times throughout last year in 2025 in ACW. The guy has potential. So, I mean, happy he's signed with TNA. But, I mean, I don't really see this going anywhere with AJZ and the Elegance brand. I really don't. I don't know how you feel. I don't see it going much of anywheres.
No.
Honestly. And then you had the Elegance brand facing the Inspiration, the former Iconics, for the Knockouts tag titles. Elegance brand win the titles, and apparently the Inspiration are free agents.
So more people out of TNA.
And another thing with TNA, we talked about their piss poor production. And is TNA this fucking broke too? They can't retain wrestlers. Like, are they this much on a money budget? Like, they can't pay the fucking wrestlers? Like, seriously, what are we doing in terms of contract negotiations, retaining talent? And now the Inspiration are the next to walk. The Rascals left, Jake Something left. What are we doing?
Literally, I think they advertised Jake Something for that show. I think they advertised him even a few weeks ago before he left. Yeah.
And then apparently visa issues with Leon Slater, the TNA X Division champion. We'll get to that. So
yeah. Danny Luna wasn't even on the show.
Nope. No Danny Luna, no Zaya Brookside, no Zaya Lee or Yay Ling Yi or whatever the hell.
Wait, was she on the show? Because they did the Zarya, they announced Zarya versus Lee at Genesis.
Yeah, but I mean, some of their names that should have been there weren't even there.
Literally.
We got
and then there's another thing. Oh, and speaking of Clueless, there was a segment, I think with Carlos Silva, he did a segment and he introduced the former TNA president, Dixie Carter.
Fuck me.
Wasn't that so exciting?
I've seen that and I'm watching, I'm like, fuck me. Fuck me. Are you serious?
Dixie.
Did we really need Dixie Carter there? You know, the same one that was killing TNA in the early 2010s when she was TNA president. Remember the good old TNA Monday Night Wars in 2010? You know, that failed hard. And they had to go back to Thursdays because they
were destroyed by Monday Night Raw every week in the ratings.
Yeah, Raw was destroying them every single week.
Yeah, then there's Dixie obviously allowing Jeff Hardy to show up to a show, wrestle drunk.
Oh, don't even get me started. What, TNA
didn't step up Road? She did not tell him no, Jeff, don't go out there.
This was TNA. This was 2011 in March. TNA Victory Road against Sting for the TNA World Title on pay-per-view in the main event versus Jeff Hardy. By the way, on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
90 seconds that World Title match. Jeff was all.
She allowed him to show up intoxicated. Then she drove away AJ Styles from the company, giving him a 60% pay cut.
Low ball, pretty much. Like AJ Styles was pretty much TNA, like pretty much the personification of TNA. And Dixie Carter fucking lowballed him with an offer.
No wonder.
And disgraceful. And very classless.
Then she I think she
drove him away and was very disrespectful in driving him away.
Yeah, she hired Vince Russo several times.
Yep, the one who owns JCW, by the way.
Yeah,
Juggalo Championship Wrestling. But
yeah, she kept. And then I think that one time she hired him in secret as a consultant. She lied to Spike TV about his employment, and then Russo, he sent an email to Mike Johnson. When he shouldn't have, a PW insider that is Mike Johnson, and the story got leaked that Spike TV kicked TNA off their network because Spike themselves hated Russo.
Yeah, that was 2014 when TNA was dog shit and they were losing ratings. Ratings were going down and down, and then they eventually lost their TV deal with Spike.
Yeah, delusional Dixie, indeed.
There was Dixie Carter and the Bully Ray and Dixie Carter being put through a table story in 2014 and TNA and EC3 involved and Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, Bully Ray, he was on that show. It was nice. It was actually nice to see Bully there.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but why was Dixie on this show? I don't know why. The people booed her.
And rightfully so.
Rightfully so that the people in the arena booed her out the building.
Good on the crowd for booing Dixie Carter out the building. They know.
Yeah. AJ Styles. Speaking of AJ Styles, obviously he cut a promo in the opening segment. There was 2 backstage segments he did. First with Frankie Kazarian.
Yep.
And then the other with Mike Santana. I think we'd see at least one AJ Styles match in TNA. Yeah. Before he officially retires, I think we see him have one last match in TNA.
He should.
Maybe this is where they do the match with him and Leon Slater. Although they could always book it for a WWE show.
They could.
Maybe you book AJ versus Mike Santana.
Probably.
And then we had the main.
I think Santana and AJ Styles will go over big.
Yeah. Yeah, then we had the main event, obviously, Mike Santana. He wins the TNA Championship. Let's hope his reign is much better.
Yeah, but I'm not holding out much hope for TNA.
Yeah, although I think he's going to defend his title tonight, if he hasn't already, against Frankie Kazarian. Let's hope he walked out as the champion and wasn't cashed in on after by Nick Nemeth, who was the other half of the Collier Sharp contract winner.
It wouldn't surprise me if it happens, honestly.
At this rate, it wouldn't surprise me if we even lost to Nick Nemeth, but let's hope not.
Has Mike Santana even signed a new deal with TNA?
Yeah, Nick Nemeth. Yeah, let's hope Mike Santana though has a longer reign as the champion.
Did Mike Santana even re-sign a new deal with TNA?
Haven't heard yet.
If he goes to WWE, that would not surprise me, and I think he's money for them.
Yeah, I think we will see him in WWE. I'm not sure though if it's going to be this year or if he signs.
Yeah, he'd be a very nice get for them. I'll tell you that right now.
Exactly.
And when Mike Santana's also wrestled in ACW, guy is very, very good. So, and pretty much one of their top guys in TNA now. And he's been throughout NXT with a TNA NXT partnership with WWE over the last year. I think he deserves a WWE contract and WWE run when that happens, to be honest. He's very good. Yeah. So I hope he gets that. But we'll see how his second TNA title run goes. Hopefully it's better than the first one, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But we also got the Hardys and Elijah in a 6-man tag against Order 4. One of the members being Mustafa Ali, who's also killing it in TNA, by the way. Who another guy who would love to see back in WWE. You know? I don't know why they even fired him 3 years ago in the first place. He's another guy I'd love to see back. Mustafa Ali. But they also had the Righteous, I think, as well. They had
they had the Righteous. I think they signed them after the match. I think it was after the match. The Righteous attacked the Hardy Boys.
Yes, I think it was like Vincent, the bigger guy with the Boss Man Slam, and then I think
Vincent is the shorter guy. It's Dutch who's the bigger guy.
Yeah, I always get confused. I don't know why. I get confused which one is which. I don't know why it's just me, but I don't know.
I think it's Vincent who's like the guy with the longer hair, the big beard, the taller beard.
Yes,
and the longer hair. Yeah, that's him. And the Dutch is the one who did the Black Hole Slam on Matt Hardy, I believe.
And then I think one of them did something, a locker chain through Jeff Hardy's earlobe.
Yeah,
I did see.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy, he can't escape spots with his ear.
A la Randy Orton.
Randy Orton was watching this with a smile on his face.
SmackDown in the summer of 2018. I'll never forget Randy Orton pulling on Jeff Hardy's earlobe when Orton turned heel. Was like, you want to know why? When he attacked Jeff Hardy around the time, I think Nakamura was around that time the U.S. champion in the summer of 2018, and Orton came back as a heel and just attacked Jeff Hardy, pulled on Jeff Hardy's earlobe and shit.
Yeah,
it was that. I mean, SmackDown Live was great in 2016. Was awesome in 2016. The 2018 was decent, and I enjoyed the Orton Jeff Hardy stuff at the time, especially when Orton went heel again. That was beautiful stuff. He pulled on Jeff Hardy's earlobe, and the commentator's like, "Oh my God, stop, Randy, stop!" That was great. Then he threw Jeff Hardy over the announce table. It was really, really good stuff. So,
yeah, there was also on TNA.
Orton was definitely sitting there with a smile on his face.
Yeah. So also there's another thing also we can't forget that happened on the TNA show. We had 2 new signings for TNA.
Yes.
There was a segment with Santino Marella, the general manager pretty much of TNA. He was interrupted by Sonya Deville, who now goes by Daria Ray.
Daria Ray, yes.
Yeah. Who introduced the newest knockout to the TNA Knockouts division, the returning Elena Black.
The former Cora Jade from NXT.
Yeah,
I'm happy she's with them, and I kind of knew, I think you probably knew, right? She would sign with TNA after she got released in May of last year from WWE. Yeah. I don't think Triple H and WWE wanted to release her, and I don't think she should have been released in the first place. And it always felt odd that she got released because she was a prominent figure on NXT, teaming with Roxanne Perez when she was the women's champion, feuding with Stephanie Vaquer and Julia at the time, late 2024, going into 2025. And Cora Jade was having some spotlight in NXT at the time with Roxanne Perez. I never understood Cora Jade's release at all. I don't think they wanted to let her go at all. I think it was the TKO, Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro thing. And the injuries didn't really help either because she was injury prone as well. But, she could have been something in WWE. She was still young, needed more time to work, but she could have still had more work and could have been something later on down the line. But I don't think they wanted to let her go in the first place at all. I don't know how you feel, but I honestly think with her and TNA now, and they have the partnership with TNA and WWE. I think when her time is done in TNA, I could absolutely see Cora Jade go back to WWE by 30 years old. I can see that.
I do wish the best for her. I mean, injuries did not help. I think this is probably the main reason she couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, so why would they even keep her on the roster? So yeah, injuries did not help. I mean, she could have done more. Honestly, I think TNA is the right spot for her. I hope all goes well for her.
Yeah, I think
they can use some new talent, especially with the ones that have already left.
True. I mean, if Indy Hartwell's doing well in TNA, I'm sure Cora Jade will do well there as well.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt. I think she'll do fine for herself, and I could see her reinventing herself in TNA, and then when the time's right, I think she'll get the call back to WWE when the time's right, and I could absolutely see her back before she turns 30 years old back in WWE.
Yeah.
I truly feel that, and like I said, it felt always weird for me that she got cut. I don't think she should have been cut in the first place. I think they wanted to keep her. I really do. I think Triple H really wanted to keep Cora Jade. And when Roxanne called up, I'm sure Cora was supposed to get called up with Roxanne. Then we had Julia with Roxanne Perez. You knew something was off when that happened.
Yeah.
So I hope Cora Jade does well for herself in TNA. I think she will. And like I said before, Cora Jade, and she's how old is she? Like mid-20s by now? How old is Cora Jade?
She's 25.
25. She'll be back in WWE by 30 years old. I'm gonna make a bold prediction on that.
Yeah.
So I think it's what will happen, and they all do come back. So if Indy Hartwell's doing well, and TNA reinvented herself, I'm sure Cora Jade will do the same thing as well. And Cora Jade and some others I could see going back. So I wish Cora Jade nothing but the best, and I wish her luck. And I think she's going to do well in TNA, though she's Elena Black. So I wish Cora Jade nothing but good luck. She may not need it because I think she's going to do well. So we did also have what else do we have on TNA? That was probably pretty much it with TNA that I can think of. Righteous is signed. Nick Nemeth re-signed with TNA as well. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much TNA. The AMC premiere was a flop. It was a letdown.
Yeah, if you're somebody that is watching TNA for the first time on AMC, and this big premiere, you'll be left very disappointed.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only good things about the show is honestly the opening with AJ and then the main event with Santana winning.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if even talking much on TNA here, unless there's a big episode or a pay-per-view. I'm not really sure at this point after what we saw Thursday.
Yeah. But honestly, if this is their best foot forward, they need to do better.
Yeah. Remember, this is the same company that let Gail Kim walk. And she was actually good for them.
Yeah.
Now they have Carlos Silva running TNA.
Yeah, he's the president.
Yep.
Yeah, they need to do better. I mean, I'm glad they got the TV deal. But they need to do better creatively and especially as well on the production side.
Yep. Whoever they got in production and creative currently needs to be fired. Or whoever doesn't need to be there that's not good for the company, they need to get rid of them. And quick.
So yeah, maybe we talk more about TNA, but honestly, that AMC debut, it was a letdown.
It left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. I'll be honest. It left a pretty much a bad taste, and probably not talk much about TNA here most episodes unless there's a big episode or it's a pay-per-view or unless they get their shit together.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just mostly going to be WWE and AEW.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. So, speaking of WWE, we have the...
Yeah, so we're done with the TNA talk. I think we're also done with the AEW talk, since we obviously talked about Hobbs.
And now moving on to the
and we talked about obviously and about Dynamite and we talked a little bit about Collision, but only because Hobbs was there.
Yeah,
we done the TNA talk. We done Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Raw and NXT.
We didn't talk much about
SmackDown. Is the only thing left.
Yes, SmackDown. They were live in London last night. This was a good show last night.
Honestly, out of all of the weekly shows from the weekend, I think SmackDown was the best show.
Yeah. They're still not where they need to be. They still need that story. There's still nothing exciting with story going on right now. Like, same thing with AEW. Mostly a problem in AEW, but both companies have the problem right now. There's not much story going on.
I think on Raw there is some story. I think with Raw there is.
Yeah.
AEW, they definitely need something big. With SmackDown as well, they need also something big in terms of a story. I mean, there's there with Drew McIntyre. That's why Drew McIntyre being WWE champion is a good thing. And you have him there with Jacob Fatu and Cody and Randy.
Yeah. And Drew McIntyre's WWE champion is what's right for everything, honestly.
Yeah.
The first 3 SmackDowns of the new year, I will say this, and I'm going to be brutally honest. SmackDown in 2025 was so bad. It was not good. It was awful. The first 3 SmackDowns of 2026, I will be very fair and honest, much better than the SmackDowns of 2025. So, I mean, they're going in the right directions. The first 3 SmackDowns of 2026 it's been good. It's been fine and good. They're going in the right direction, much better than last year, but they're still missing that big story that hooks you on every single week. If they just have that, if they can just implement that, then I think they're all set. They're going in the right direction. They've been good the past 3 weeks, much better than last year, but they're still missing that story that gets you hooked on every single week, week after week, that gets you to watch every single week. Like there's
the Carmelo Hayes, obviously defending the US title. They're doing some stuff with the women's tag team titles. They're doing some stuff there with that, with Nia Lash and Charlotte and Alexa, Rhea and Io, Bailey, Lyra, but they need that one big angle that can hook you in.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu being attacked, who attacked him. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to do that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
But
SmackDown. I think though what's missing though, obviously, I think it doesn't help with injuries as well. Bianca's still hurt. Kevin Owens is still hurt, although both should be back. Bianca, maybe she's back in the Rumble. Kevin Owens, I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So these were huge losses for the brand.
Yeah. But but first 3 SmackDowns of the new year 2026 have been much better than last year. If they can just have that big story angle, like they had the Bloodline and Sami Zayn that carried SmackDown in late 2022 and going into 23 and such, and even like the Bloodline with 2023 and stuff. Like SmackDown the first 3 SmackDowns of 2026 have been much better than the SmackDowns of 2025, all of 2025. If they just have that big story angle that hooks you on, that gets you to tune in this week and the week after that, that big storyline angle, if they can just have that, then I think they're all set. We can gravitate even more so to SmackDown. I'm probably sure you think the same way.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people feel that same way too. It's not bad at all, but they need something. They need something.
We had the opening segment, I believe. Drew McIntyre, he opened the show.
Yes. Yep. He opened the show. He's a brand new WWE champion. He got a nice pop. He said he prayed for this and it happened, no pun intended. And he said, I didn't need you. I needed me. I only one I could count on was me. And then you had Randy Orton come out. Everyone's singing Randy Orton's Voices theme song by Rev Theory and shit. And then you had Jacob Fatu come out and attack Drew McIntyre. They brawled to the timekeeper's area into the crowd. Then you had The Miz, like some skull-crushing finale out of nowhere to Randy Orton, which led to the first match after the opening segment for the night. Randy Orton versus The Miz in a qualifier for the Fatal 4-Way for Saturday night's main event. Where the winner of the Fatal 4-Way Saturday night's main event gets Drew McIntyre the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. This was one of the 4 Fatal 4-Way qualifying matches, Randy Orton versus The Miz. And Orton wins with an RKO out of nowhere, and Orton wins as I predicted. This guy predicted there was no way Miz was beating Randy Orton. No way.
They were never gonna do this.
This was self-explanatory.
Yeah, this was the obvious outcome of all outcomes.
Yep. There was no way on any planet Miz was going over Orton. No fucking way. And Miz, and I think I'm probably gonna leave it the floor with as far as the Miz and his win-loss record in 2025.
Yeah, 90%. I still want to know how the Miz got a WWE Championship #1 contenders match. Well, he didn't even have a #1 contenders match. It was a qualifying match, more or less. He gets a #1 contenders qualifying match for the WWE Championship, even though he did not win any singles matches in 2025. He has lost over 90% of his matches in the last 12 months. And yet he is in getting contention to get a shot at the biggest prize in the company. Why?
You want to know the last time Miz actually won a match?
When?
Well, it was like 2024.
The last time he won a singles match, yeah. The last time he won a singles match was 2024. The last time he won a match in general, I think, was one of the tag team qualifying #1 contenders matches for Clash in Paris, where he and Mello won. Yeah. I think after that they lost to the Street Profits.
Yeah, who haven't been seen in months, by the way. Where are they?
Yeah, I hope they're doing all right. Hopefully they should be back on TV soon.
Hopefully. But The Miz, I remember even on an episode of Raw in late 2023, didn't The Miz lose clean in short amount of time to Akira Tozawa? Rolled him up clean and pinned Miz 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You know? I thought I remember that. And
this is the same guy who's getting a WWE Championship match.
A fucking loser, a scrub loser in The Miz. Yeah, he gets a WWE title opportunity or a chance to be a #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Why?
At least if you were going to have him in there, at least, I don't know, have him win matches.
Yeah. And then this guy was with Carmelo Hayes throughout going in and during 2025, and Carmelo Hayes ditches him, and rightfully so. Then The Miz wants to complain about not being one of John Cena's final opponents on his retirement tour last year.
Trust me, nobody wanted to see The Miz. I mean, no disrespect to The Miz. I don't actually hate the guy. No disrespect to him. But who's clamoring to watch Miz versus John Cena and John Cena's retirement tour? Nobody. Me. Although, in fairness, he did get Carmelo Hayes over. Fair enough. That pairing did get Melo over, and he won the U.S. title after that.
Well, Melo did win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and had the Dre necklace, but that went nowhere. And then he had Miz wrestling Aleister Black when Aleister Black came back.
Yeah, he gets humiliated every week. He eats black mass every week.
And then it's like some people say, "Oh, The Miz is awesome. He's awful. He loses every single match that he's in. He's a loser."
I mean, he's a legend of the company. I will not discredit him at all. You know, he's a legend. But honestly, what is he doing on the television show that is so meaningful?
He serves no purpose. As a wrestler, he's well past his expiration date. Why can't we have Miz on the commentary team?
Honestly, there's more that they could do with. Honestly, I think he's in that kind of utility player role where, you know, if somebody like a debuts or returns like an Aleister Black or a Melo Hayes, you know, when you need to get them over, he's like the guy you work with. He's a safe pair of hands.
Yeah,
he's safe in the ring. He can get them over, put them over.
If Will Hobbs ever goes to SmackDown, could you see his first opponent be The Miz?
It wouldn't shock me.
Just curious.
Yeah. Bookmark this right now. They're gonna book a squash match where Hobbs destroys The Miz. They're gonna have him on. He shows up on SmackDown. He squashes The Miz in a match.
Powerhouse Hobbs or whatever name they give Will Hobbs. We don't even know if he's going to be Will Hobbs with that name in WWE.
Just call him Hobbs. Just call him Hobbs. No need to call him Powerhouse Hobbs.
I seen someone on social media say something about Hobbs and Shaw because Dexter Lumis and the White Six was Samuel Shaw in TNA, and they had the movie with Roman Reigns, I think, in 2019 with The Rock, Hobbs, and Shaw.
May as well. Yeah, may as well. Hobbs and Shaw coming to WWE right there.
Yeah,
they will not actually. Just kidding. They will.
Yeah, just a joke.
Yeah, we're joking around here. Yeah, Hobbs is much better off on his own.
Yeah,
but The Miz, he loses to Randy Orton to the surprise of absolutely no one.
So Orton was the first one to qualify.
Yeah.
We did also get the Matt Cardona Trick Williams second Fatal 4-Way qualifier. I have to say this. Trick Williams, 3 weeks in with him on SmackDown in the new year, holy shit, over as fuck. And he is a star. My fucking goodness. Whoop that trick. Loud pop, so over. He's doing really well. 3 weeks in with him on SmackDown in the new year 2026, Trick Williams is doing really, really well for himself, don't you think?
Yeah, he's passing that test with flying colors. Yeah, he looks he doesn't look out of place at all. He looks and feels like a star. He's presented as a star.
He can hang in a segment with Sami Zayn and Buffalo, the first SmackDown of 2026. Had a good match with Rey Fenix last week. What was it? And what were they in the second SmackDown of 2026? What were they in? Berlin.
Yeah,
Berlin. Yeah, had a good match with Rey Fenix in Berlin. Had a good match with Matt Cardona here in London.
Yeah, that was a good match. You know, for two guys as well. Obviously, this was last week. He and Rey Fenix. This was the first time they've ever been in a match against each other. They worked really well. For a first time ever match, for two guys, you know, who never worked before, this is their first time, you know, Cardona and Williams working together. They had a good match. They gelled well in the ring.
Yeah.
They looked
Cardona did some nice boots into Williams and drop kicks and the drop kick off the apron or something.
Yeah, Cardona, he did a broski boot and zigzag combo.
Or what does he call? Not the broski boot, but like the reboot.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he did a zigzag on Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, they did some good stuff.
Shout out to Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth by Cardona too.
Yeah, there was good things there that they did in the match. So yeah, this was another good match. Yeah, Trick Williams, obviously, I think we predicted it as well. Trick Williams was going to qualify. Yeah, he got the win.
Yeah.
I think Cardona enters the Rumble. I think the guys who lost in there, I think, you know, and that didn't qualify for the WWE title 4-way match, I think they entered the Rumble. I think Cardona's going to be one of them.
Okay, even those who don't win the Fatal 4-Way on Saturday night's main event, January 24th, I think they'll be in the Rumble too. Trick Williams is another guy I could see in the Rumble too. I think you have a good showing in there as well.
Yeah.
And also, so Trick Williams was second to qualify in a very good match with Matt Cardona. And speaking of Trick Williams, he's facing Damian Priest next week in Montreal, the night before Saturday night's main event, January 24th.
Yeah, that should be another good match.
Yeah. I'm actually having
two big guys going at it.
And Damian Priest has had some momentum lately, especially beating Aleister Black in the ambulance match, which was really good stuff. It's the main event, the first SmackDown of this year, 2026. I would have Trick go over Damian Priest, if I'm honest. Keep that momentum going. I think a loss to Trick Williams won't hurt Damian Priest at all.
No.
And Trick, you want Tricks, and Trick should really win.
Yeah, you want to build him up. This is a guy who you want the fans to take seriously as a major player.
The guy is a star. The guy has aura. Legit, the guy is a star. There is no doubting that. No questions asked. None at all.
So you keep that momentum going. Yeah, I think you have Trick beating Damian Priest. I think he also will have a good showing in that 4-way match at Saturday night's main event.
And you could probably have Trick Williams eat the pin in the Fatal 4-Way from Sami Zayn because Trick and Sami had that segment the first SmackDown of this year. And Sami could probably get some payback and pin Trick in the Fatal 4-Way. It wouldn't hurt Trick because he's still undefeated. Technically, he's one-on-one.
Yeah.
It would protect Trick Williams. I would not mind that.
Yeah, this was another good showing.
And Trick Williams beats Damian Priest, a former world champion. I think that would go over pretty big for Trick Williams.
Absolutely. So
he's fucking killing it.
Exactly. So this will also be I think their first time ever they'll be in a match.
Doing very well.
This will be also their first time in a singles match against each other.
Yes. So over, man. The guy is a future piece. I wouldn't say world champion right now, but give it at most a couple years. I'm telling you, man, he's going to be something pretty big.
Yeah. So another good showing from him. Another good showing from him. And his second SmackDown match as a member of the main roster with Cardona.
His call-up was the perfect timing, bro.
Yeah.
It really was.
And then after the match, we heard the music. He's going viral, apparently.
True, real man. He's gone viral. Kit Wilson.
Kit Wilson.
Ding. Hey, Kit, are you there?
Yeah.
Kit
after the match, after the match, he comes out and he attacks Matt Cardona, getting a measure of revenge.
Well, he looks at Cardona, and Cardona turns away. Then Kit Wilson blindsides Cardona from behind. Then he throws Cardona into steel steps and yells at Matt Cardona, "Toxic! Toxic for toxic."
Yeah, so I think
masculinity.
I think it's some sort of mini feud.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have some sort of mini feud in there. Maybe they book another match. You never know. Maybe they book a match between Kit Wilson and Cardona, and the loser of the match has to enter the Rumble first.
I don't know, or maybe Royal Rumble qualifier. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I don't know how you feel.
Maybe Kit Wilson is in the Rumble, but he's like one of the first people eliminated just for a comedy spot.
Yeah, but
then
he gets on the mic and he yells,
"Yeah, but he gets a measure of revenge."
Toxic.
Yeah, after he gets his measure of revenge on Cardona, he cuts a promo. Then afterwards, we see Jacob Fatu enter the ring and
he's
he kicks
right
his
behind
ass.
Kit Wilson.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of Kit Wilson.
Yeah, he super kicks him into oblivion. And then Jacob Fatu, and this was before this, Cody Rhodes cut a promo and he got booed mostly. Then he turned around with cheers. Cody Rhodes announced himself, "First, I'm officially entering myself in this year's Royal Rumble," and stuff. And Cody Rhodes was booed, and mostly. Then Jacob Fatu, when he attacked Kit Wilson, Jacob Fatu was like, "Cody Rhodes, if you're here, get your ass out here now." And then Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes, they brawl. Then it went to commercial then during their brawl, but they were brawling nonetheless. And apparently getting Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu Saturday night's main event in Montreal, January 24th. So we got the women's tag team title match, Liv and Roxanne versus Io and Rhea, women's tag titles. Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. And the fatal four-way to determine Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship #1 contender at the Royal Rumble in Saudi. Saturday night's main event, January 24th. It's looking like a good show.
Yeah,
it really is. Maybe add one more match or two, but it's so far shaping up to a pretty good show.
Yeah,
honestly. But I don't know what you felt of this brawl. I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
and there's a story there with Cody and Fatu.
Exactly.
But they still need something for SmackDown. But yeah. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, he cut this promo. He was mostly booed. But he then turned around with cheers saying a WrestleMania in London. But Cody Rhodes officially announced himself first entering the Royal Rumble match. Not #1 entrant, but one of the participants for this year's Men's Royal Rumble. This is... Now, I'm not sure if you caught this. For weeks until last night, no one was announcing themselves, yeah, I'm in the Rumble. Cody Rhodes, middle of this month, was the first time to do that.
Yeah.
Finally did it. I don't know if Triple H is trying to keep everything... I don't know what... I don't think Triple H forgot there was the Rumble, but I think he's trying to keep everything hush-hush. So, like, who knows who's going to be in the Rumble?
Yeah. Maybe,
I don't know.
You want to keep it secretive. But you want to make things, unpredictable. It's Friday.
And for years, people would say, yeah, I'm in the Royal Rumble. I'm in the Rumble. Hey, bro, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, but Cody Rhodes is announced for the Rumble. I think it's the right move, don't you think?
Maybe.
I think Cody in the Rumble makes things better and it's more prestigious.
Maybe. I think Jacob will also enter the Rumble.
I could probably see that. I don't think Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble a third time to tie Stone Cold's record. I don't think I can't see that.
Yeah.
Because Stone Cold has the record for winning 3 Rumbles. I can't see Cody tying that record.
No.
I can't.
No.
That was another good segment with Cody Rhodes cutting a promo, and he didn't do his typical, whoa, and he addressed it too. Lately, he's been feeling stale, and he admitted he addressed it.
Yeah.
Like, serious Cody is better. And I don't know how you feel. Cody Rhodes chasing the championship is better than Cody as the champion.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way. It's better with Cody chasing. It's stale when Cody eventually is. It's stale eventually when Cody's champion. I think it's a lot better when Cody chases. I'm sure you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I think they needed something fresh. They needed something different.
Yeah, and Drew McIntyre, if you watched the opening segment of SmackDown last night, Drew McIntyre segment, he mentioned he put a clause in the contract with 3 stages of hell. Cody can't challenge me for the championship again as long as I'm champion. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So we're not getting Cody and Drew at the Rumble. Good.
Yeah.
And no, Cody's not getting a rematch before the Rumble or inserting himself in the title match at the Rumble. That's not happening. And Cody's in the Rumble, which I think overall is the right move. Makes the Rumble more prestigious and a lot more unpredictable. You don't know who's winning the Rumble now. Could be Cody Rhodes, could be Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, maybe a wild card like LA Knight. We don't know. And I actually like that. I don't know how you feel. I actually like that because for years, people would be able to predict, yeah, this one's win the Rumble. And when in the past would be like, yeah, this one could win or that one could win. Like 10 guys who could possibly win the Rumble. Haven't felt like that in a long time. I actually like that a lot. Not sure if you caught that, but
yeah, I seen it. I mean, Jacob with Cody, that could be an interesting storyline.
It could. Maybe Cody Rhodes was the one that took out Jacob Fatu.
Maybe. I think it's either him or Randy.
Yeah. If it's Randy, I don't mind it. If it's Cody, Cody would go heel. And Cody has been stale lately. I think a heel Cody would be very refreshing. And he does the heel role pretty well. I think it was a heel in TNA, I think, and in ROH in New Japan before they made AEW. Yeah. He was a good heel then. So it could work. And I think that's where the money is. And it would honestly freshen things up, especially on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents on that. But regarding Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes, we also had Damian Priest and Solo Sikoa in the 3rd Fatal 4-Way qualifying match. I predicted Damian Priest as well as this guy here for Damian Priest to win, and he won. No surprise. This was fine, but Priest won as he did and should. We had the Wyatt Six distract the MFTs with the lantern. They had this thing over the lantern now, apparently. And then Solo Sikoa stole the lantern. Oh, well, Vince McMahon had the my egg. Remember that? That was so bad. And yeah, Triple H had a bad year creatively last year, yet there's those that want Vince McMahon back. These people are fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
I'd take Triple H over Vince 7 days of the fucking week. Nobody wants Vince there. Nobody. But we have Priest winning over Sikoa as he should. This was self-explanatory, just like Randy Orton and The Miz. So not much to it here. We do have Wyatt Six in the MFTs next week on SmackDown for the tag titles. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Just end that feud already. Just like the Death Riders and Darby Allin. Please end that shit. Honestly. But we also got the Jordan Grace beating Chelsea Green. Short amount of time, you get Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill. Can't wait for Bianca Belair to get back soon. Glad Jordan Grace on SmackDown, but Bianca Belair, the sooner she gets back, the better. I cannot take Jade Cargill no longer as women's champion. She may go down as one of the worst women's world champions ever.
Honestly, I think she's had the same issue as Tiffany, honestly, as champion. It's just more than one person as the champion, than being the champion. I think it's that division, I think they're missing something.
They have no
Since everybody else is in a feud with each other. And Bianca's injured.
Yep. Tiffany Stratton hasn't been seen in weeks. Hopefully she's back soon.
Yeah.
So then we had also the main event, I think it was. I don't think I missed anything with SmackDown, no. Oh, Carmelo Hayes and Leon Slater, U.S. title open challenge.
I think they did. Well, I think before that, didn't they do Damian and Solo?
Yes, we talked about Damian Solo.
Yeah, Damian won, no surprise there. Yeah, we had Leon Slater versus Carmelo Hayes. This is why Leon Slater was not at the AMC premiere.
They said visa issues was the reason Slater wasn't on TNA and AMC.
Yeah.
Sure thing. Leon Slater, TNA X Division champion on SmackDown. answering the U.S. title open challenge against Carmelo Hayes. And man, it's Carmelo Hayes over too.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes is doing really well, man. I'm telling you. He's, like I said, future piece of the company. One of them is Carmelo Hayes. And this match with Carmelo Hayes and Leon Slater, this was some really good stuff. Really good stuff. And
yeah,
Slater
this was honestly
the
best match on SmackDown.
Honestly. And both guys look really good. And Leon Slater's and is in his young 20s as well. Love that Swanton 450 thing of beauty. I can see WWE buying out Leon Slater's TNA contract, and he's so good.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a very nice get for WWE. I just buy out his contract. Fuck it. You know?
Yeah.
This is some good stuff with Mello and Slater. I do think Trick Williams is the one, though, to take the U.S. title off Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
And it should be one of the matches on Mania, no questions asked. But good stuff with Mello and Slater. Then we get the main event of Ilya Dragunov and Sami Zayn, the fourth Fatal 4-Way qualifying match. Not better than their first match in October, where Dragunov came back and won the U.S. title off Sami Zayn in the U.S. Open Challenge. But this was still a good match nonetheless. My God, was this a good match. And I'm sure he predicted Sami Zayn gets the win back, and that's what happened. He won off the Haluva kick. Really good stuff.
That was another good match.
Yes. And Sami Zayn got his win back over Dragunov. And then we had post-match Trick Williams attacking Sami Zayn. And Trick Williams standing tall at the end of SmackDown last night. I don't know what you think. So we have the Fatal 4-Way for Saturday night's main event. Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and Randy Orton. I don't know who you got for the Fatal 4-Way. You know, Saturday night's main event, January 24th, is in Montreal. Damian Priest is not from Montreal. Randy Orton's not from Montreal. Trick Williams is not from Montreal. But who is the one guy in the Fatal 4-Way that's from Montreal, Quebec, Canada?
Sami Zayn.
Yep. And next week, the Royal Rumble, that's in Saudi.
And he's also a fan favorite in Saudi Arabia.
Yep. Sami Zayn is beloved in Saudi Arabia. I think Sami Zayn wins the Fatal 4-Way, man. I think it makes all the sense in the world. I do. And I would say Sami Zayn wins. He pins Trick Williams. I would do Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. And if you paid attention to SmackDown last night, Drew McIntyre brought up this interesting statistic. McIntyre and Sami have history. Sami Zayn has never, ever beaten Drew McIntyre. McIntyre against Sami is 11-0. And McIntyre brought that up last night in a backstage segment with Sami Zayn. I think Sami and Drew for the WWE title at the Rumble is a very nice match for one of the matches at the Rumble. And they have the history. There's a story where Sami Zayn, he's never won the world title. He's going to be the world champion WWE. And he mentioned this months ago, and then he brought it up again at the beginning of this year when he was off TV since November. And now Sami's trying to win the big one. He's never won the big one. But you get Sami and Drew at the Rumble. Drew's going to retain. Sami's going to start doubting himself, but he knows he can win the big one. And I would have throughout this whole year, Sami go through the underdog phase where he's chasing, trying to win the big one, trying to overcome obstacles. And Sami Zayn, will he be world champion? Yes, he will. Do I think he'll win it and at the Rumble? No. Do I think he wins the Rumble this year? No. I think, and I don't know how you feel about this, dude, WrestleMania 43 in Saudi next year, I think is where Sami Zayn finally becomes the world champion. And Sami wins the Rumble next year for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel.
I think you could do that. I mean, he's never been Drew McIntyre, too.
Nope. He's 11-0. Drew against Sami's 11-0. Maybe had 12-0. And you have Sami lose to Drew at the Rumble, doubts himself. And I think we talked about this a while ago, video call. If Sami loses to Drew at the Rumble, which he will, Aleister Black has not been on TV since the ambulance match, and he's pretty much selling the ambulance match effects, and good. The match should mean something. And Black is set to be back soon on TV as Aleister Black. What about Aleister Black and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? Because Sami loses to Drew at the Rumble. Sammy doubts himself, and Aleister Black tries to get in Sami Zayn's head, tries to get Sammy to think to Black where, he's old Sammy's like, I'm never going to be world champion. And he starts doubting himself. And Black's like, you're right, Sammy. You're never going to be world champion. He gets inside Sammy's head and he tries to doubt Sami Zayn. And maybe we get Aleister Black and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. There's a story with that. And throughout the whole year, you get Sammy trying to overcome obstacles and shit and trying to get another shot at and crack and winning the big one. Then at least in next year's Royal Rumble 2027, Sami Zayn wins that Rumble next year, which I could absolutely see. Then Sammy at WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia next year, that's where Sami Zayn finally wins the World Championship.
Yeah, I think the time absolutely. The time to have him win the championship is in Saudi, but for WrestleMania, because they're doing the first international meeting for, in 27, and it's in Saudi.
I think that is the perfect way to go about it, and with Sammy's story winning the big one WrestleMania next year to finally be a world champion. I think that is the way to go about it. I mean, would I mind Sammy winning the Rumble this year if he loses to Drew? No, but I think it's better to do it next year for Sammy. I do.
Yeah.
Because Drew's going to be champion. I don't know about Jacob Fatu being champion. I don't know. Does Cody win it back go heel? I don't know. But I would say as far as Sami Zayn, he wins the world title by next year's Mania. I don't think it's at the Rumble or at Mania this year. I don't.
Yeah. And
Sammy will be fine if he loses at the Rumble because he will be the world champion, just not right now. But I think it's a very nice match for the Rumble, for the WWE title at the Rumble with Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre. And there's this story and history there. I think Sammy winning the Fatal 4 makes all the sense in the world. I don't think it's Randy Orton. I don't think Orton and Drew really interests a lot of people for the Rumble. Yes, it's a big match for the Rumble, but does Drew and Orton really interest you for the Rumble? Probably not. Damian Priest and McIntyre, we've been there, done that. Trick Williams, it's too soon. Sami Zayn is your guy.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's your guy to win the Fatal 4-Way. So, those are my thoughts and Adam Carl's thoughts on all of that. I thought SmackDown, again, was good last night. They're just missing that big story that will hook them every single week. But yeah, if SmackDown just had that big storyline hooker every week, if you know what I'm saying, then I think they're really set. Hopefully we get that soon. Yeah. And I think if they get the Rumble winners right this year, I think we're in the right track. Because last year's Rumble winners were not that good. Charlotte Flair and Jey Uso.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's better, different this year with coming up. If they can get the Rumble winners right this year, I think we're set. So we'll see. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys joining us here on this Saturday night on January 17th of 2026 for episode 8.
It was nice doing the podcast again. We've nearly went 3 hours.
Yeah. A lot of good wrestling talk, man. And a week before Saturday night's main event, 2 weeks before the Royal Rumble. Now, speaking of those two shows, for episode 9 next Saturday, what do you think? Because Saturday night's main event is going to be, 8, 9 o'clock next Saturday night?
Yeah.
I think. I'd probably, most likely, I'm probably shooting for, morning, afternoon, something for episode 9, somewhere early afternoon next Saturday, because it wouldn't be doing this during the main event. What?
9 p.m.?
No. Having the episode 9 earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Would probably be better because it's Saturday's main event. 9 a.m. or something. We'll figure that out. But
yeah,
we'll figure that out after the shows right here. But and the same thing for the Royal Rumble. They're gonna be in Saudi. They're gonna be in the early afternoon for the Rumble. So when that gets closer, we'll talk about that as well. But as far as that's concerned, well, we'll let you guys know. But we appreciate you joining us, and so glad to have you back here, Adam Carl, for the first time in several months. It wasn't the same without you, and we're so thrilled to have you back.
Yeah. We're back. We're better than ever.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a weekly thing. We did this before where it was obviously once a month, but now this is gonna be a weekly podcast.
Absolutely,
Talk
man.
All things professional wrestling.
It's only the beginning, man. New year, and better than ever. We're just getting started, man, and it's only gonna get better from here on out. So stay tuned. We're in for a wild ride. So, and I'm very much looking forward to it. We both are.
Yeah.
So we appreciate every single one of you too, and love every single one of you, and we appreciate you watching us, and hope you guys enjoyed us talk some great pro wrestling on a Saturday night. A lot that we discussed. Let us know your opinions on what we talked about in the comments, and hit the like on the video and subscribe to Furious Nation. Hit the bell for all notifications, and go follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, stuff like that. And once again, we appreciate you guys joining us, and hope you guys have, I know we're 11:10 here in the United States, here in New York State time, but hope you guys have a good rest of your night and shit and stuff. Hope you guys are keeping warm. If you're snowing in your area, hopefully you're inside nice and warm. And Adam Carl, any other parting words before we get the hell out of here, before we end the stream?
It's always an honor doing this show. Doing it for you, doing it for the fans. Always being honest, always being nice.
Absolutely.
My advice for people is be yourself. Be kind. Always inspire. You're never alone. There's people that genuinely care about you. We always want to give you a good time. We don't want to upset anyone. Yeah, or make them feel bad about something. We're always open for talk.
Absolutely, man. I could not have said it better, and that's coming from
I'm
the
always
heart.
here for all of you guys, including you too, Nick.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that 100%. And right back at you, bro. Right back at you, Adam Carl. We appreciate you so very much, and all of you guys have a good rest of your Saturday night. We'll see you next week, most likely during the day, morning, afternoon, during the day. Saturday next week, January 24th. It won't be 8:30, 8 o'clock normal time next Saturday night, because Saturday night's main event. But let you guys know, it'll most likely be either morning or early afternoon for episode 9 next Saturday, January 24th. So look out for that. And hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We will see you next week for episode 9 of the Forbidden Podcast. Have a good night, rest of you guys. We will see you next week. Peace.